We switched. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for waiting. We just wanted to give some time for people to join. You're going to switch the cameras, Kylie. We have Stacy and Tony Hall both with us.
What's up?
Bad Apple Crew representing two of the, I guess, the honest founders, right, of Bad Apples.
In a way, yes.
So the biggest thing that I know a lot of people have been asking me, and I'm sure that a lot of people probably ask you guys, is what the hell is Bad Apples and where did that even come from? Kind of like an origin story, if you will.
Whew, let me take you way back.
Yeah.
Way back.
We need a long conversation back.
Oh, wow.
And we're going back to the trailer park days.
Yes, we've graduated from white trash.
Now you have a dirt lot.
Barely. Years ago, we used to, I used to mud
like
race.
this big.
We lived in Minnesota. I had a truck I was building, and we were screwing around with colors, and it just so happened it was a off green because somebody had it made and never picked it up. And I sprayed part of the truck with it, and I can't even remember these. Stacy was maybe 6, 7. I don't remember. And him and Shelby were there, and they said, "Looks like an apple." Okay, so that's where that went. So that was the name of the truck. So
Apple?
we just started calling it the Bad Apple.
Oh,
Yeah, because
gotcha.
his best friend had a truck, and then it was neon yellow, and that was the nuclear banana. I'm serious.
That's awesome.
So you had the nuclear banana, and you had the Bad Apple.
Hell yeah.
So that kind of, I guess, started the name. And then, how many years has it been now?
I have no idea. A lot.
Since, well, I mean, back then it didn't really go any further than just a truck name.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an Arctic Cat snowmobile and leftover paint, so that got painted green.
Pretty much
then-
anything that we had with an engine and wheels or sleds, whatever it was, Bad Apple followed it.
So green was just because it was left over? That's how that color started?
Well, the color started, so
That's how the color started, and then later, well, you tell a story about Brandon.
so we had the dirt bikes, and we never painted those green, obviously. But then we got into the cars, and I always wanted to paint the car. My dad ended up getting his car, and we never knew really what color to go with, And so trying to paint a car is a pain in the ass because you never know what color you want to stick with.
Sure.
And then my cousin died. My cousin Brandon, he was killed in a car accident, and one of his favorite colors was lime green. And they had his tombstone. It is black and lime green.
Oh, that's cool.
And then right then and there we knew we're going green. Everything's going green.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I know from my car from here until the end of time, it will always have something green, whether it's the primary color or not. There's gonna be green on my car forever,
That's cool.
and that's kind of where that color came from.
Gotcha.
Yeah, mainly for him.
With his passing, it hit the whole family pretty hard. So it was kind of like a tribute when we painted my car green, and we kind of, It seems like everything we buy now, it's like Snap-on truck shows up, it's got lime green stuff on it because the guy knows, oh, hey, I got this in lime green.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sucker us in now.
I can
Hey, we got those.
$600 now.
Yeah.
We got those new flyer sets that came in. Oh yeah, you do. Oh, don't worry, we ordered a lime green set in case you wanted the pair. All right, fine. Ring me up.
So that's, of course, the green goes with the Bad Apple name.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Stacy got his car. It paid way too much for his first 240.
What was his first car? Was it 240 or was it the Miata?
It was a 240.
Oh, really?
The flat black one at my dad's house. With
Oh,
the green
really?
engine bay.
That's your first one.
Yeah. The one
Oh,
that's falling
shit.
apart in the backyard.
Yeah, so it's like, it's seen some walls, man.
No, it's falling
Yeah, the
apart.
Miata was just kind of a. I needed to drive. I'm itching really bad to drive,
Oh.
and Kyle was getting rid of it. So I was like, I'll just drive this, well, because
Fuck
staying
it.
there spectating is rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just wanted to drive, and I ended up running that thing for almost 2 years, probably, like 14 diffs.
Yeah. Well, that was the car that we met you in, right?
No, that was after the Miata. I got
okay.
It was back in the single cam
yeah,
patch.
Yeah, okay.
I
Okay.
picked up another shell and just slammed a single cam in it.
Gotcha.
That never died.
I always talk about the burnout
Amazing,
where you're
man.
on the wall, steering wheel comes off, you do like
Yeah.
a second gear, you just slam in it.
If anyone
That's
knows,
Easter.
anyone knows a
Yeah.
single cam doing a second gear brake stand.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I honestly I think back that day, and I really wish I would have never even stopped. I would have kept going to the tank.
Yeah,
Flew out.
dude, for real. It was
You
epic
should
as
have
fuck,
just
though.
should have went those rims just gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If I had cruise control, I would have locked it in and jumped out on top of the car.
That was so sick.
It probably would have been a few safety violations in there.
Fuck it.
But it would have been dope.
If your car's on fire, it's okay to get out.
Yeah.
But what if it's doing a burnout? You can't tell if it's on fire or not.
Yeah, true.
So
There was a lot of smoke.
yeah. So
Like,
back
I
to
don't know
the
fire.
the whole making
Yeah,
of
sorry.
the bad apple thing.
So I started painting everything you had green.
yeah, everything just started getting painted green. But anything that we owned just it turned into green, and then
Is
No,
that
I'd
when
been
we bought the
driving.
house?
yeah, I had been driving I drove for 2 years before you finally got a car, right? Yeah, about 2 years I had been driving. My dad finally got a car, and then everyone started coming over,
And the
Mm.
But
bad
all the
decisions.
friends started getting into it, and then all of a sudden you're standing around and there's 14 people there, all with drift cars, and we're like, we should just do a team thing,
Yeah.
It's not like a
Well, we
not
were
like a
doing-
race team. It was just like a buddy, like let's
Yeah,
just call
like-
ourselves something. And,
Yeah, yeah.
And we kind of like tossed back a few names, and it just came to Bad Apple, and this is what we should just do,
We kind of,
We like it.
we messed around with how many different names. It was, I think it was after we bought the place in Queen Creek. We were doing some side work and things like that in the garage, and it just, we should have something we should call each other. We don't have a name. It's like, who cares? But it was, oh man, that was Stacy, Kyle, Andres,
Mm-hmm. Sam. Sam.
Sam McLeod.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Sam.
We call him Sam.
Oh, okay. All those Beamers in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
I won't ever leave.
Yeah, that's like where it all started.
Yeah, really.
You
So
know?
those are like the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Day ones, I
Well,
guess.
it was after we got rid of the dirt bikes.
Mm-hmm.
You broke your wrist, and I
Jerking off. Now, let's just be honest.
That's what it looked like when I'm flying through the air and I landed. Tried to get back on the bike, and my arm was like, "Bleh."
This is
Nope.
dirt biking?
Yeah.
What happened?
At ET.
at ET he
Launched it a little far.
launched
Yeah.
it a little
Like
off
over a
track.
ramp? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, what? Holy shit.
Well, it was like late in the day, and I have this issue where I never want to get off the track,
Sounds about right.
And it was, in the morning it's nice and muddy, and then it starts to get nice and tacky, and then later in the day it gets like dusty, and then the top of the ramps get like really hard packed.
Okay.
And I was like coming around a corner, and there's like a triple that you got to hit, and I was 15, 16. Maybe 120 pounds riding a 450. The
Hell
first
yeah.
fuel injected one. It was that 09. It was that first year of fuel injection.
Yeah.
Oh man, and I wanted to make that trip when I slammed on it, and I spun the tire when I came up the top, and I went this way, and the
Oh,
ramp was that way, and what's
So
weird is when you're in the air and like you're about to eat it hard.
Right.
It seems like eternity.
I was
up
gonna
there.
say.
I'm like, okay,
Like,
do I
fuck,
throw
fuck,
the
fuck.
bike? Do I try and land it? This thing's gonna crush me. It weighs like 3 times as much as I do.
Yeah.
So I chucked the bike and I crossed my arms, and when I landed face down.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
But like just the wrist and nothing else? Like got fucked up? Like your neck or anything?
I mean, I was like bumped and bruised,
Sure.
but the only thing that was broke was my wrist, and my poor mom is having a heart attack, and
He's dead.
she's telling me to get off the track, and I pick the bike back up, and I get on it and try to keep riding.
Oh my gosh, really?
The arm
Just
wasn't
stay down, dude.
No,
Stay
the arm wasn't having it. So
Holy shit.
finally, she convinced me to get off the
Oh,
track. Well,
fuck.
didn't convince me. She made me get off the track, and my mom runs out there and get off the track. A couple of profanity in there. You know, we load the bike up, and I'm like, let's just go home. And then we like pulled my gear off and my jersey and stuff up. My mom's like, no, we're going to urgent care. We're going to the ER room like right now.
No, it's okay, Mom. I'll keep going. I'll be fine. We'll put some ice on it.
Just put
Some icy
paint
hot.
stick- Paint sticks. We're good.
I think I still rode for a little bit after that, but then, you know, it picked up. Kyle got his Miata, and then I got a 240, and we went to our first event. That first event I actually drove in. I was with Kyle in his Miata. I hadn't had my 240 yet, and I drove it like a couple runs, and I was like, that's it. You know, I'm getting a car. And me being the anxious person I am and having no self-control whatsoever, I just went and bought the first car I could get my hands on. And
So it's expensive.
it was, it was expensive.
I
and
blame Davey.
and she was a little rusty, you know, a little rough around the edges.
Gotcha.
But
A little
ain't no
rusty.
shame in my game. We sent it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So then, you know, the drifting kind of took over, and dirt biking kind of got put on the side. And
Well, then I wrecked.
yeah,
Oh, you wrecked as well.
You think Tony didn't wreck?
Yeah, I know. I should have known better. What happened? I didn't know that.
Well, let's just say it was a real poor attempt at an accidental backflip.
On a dirt bike? On the same 450 as well, or?
Yeah, he had one too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Mhm.
We had, at one point, we had 3 or 4 of them. Seems like it doesn't matter what we get into, we end
Have
up
a million.
overdoing it. Whether it's remote control cars or bikes, we just, The full retard button in our family is very easily pushed. So, pretty much did the same thing he did. I came up to one of the jumps and I just cracked the throttle. And as I came up, I spun. I knew I spun. I'm like, okay. But before I got back out of the throttle, it caught again. So, yeah, I pretty much was almost looking behind me, and I'm like, I can ride this out. I think I can land this.
Keep in mind, I'm watching all of this go down. I'm watching every inch of this go down.
Well, let's just say I was wrong. I did not ride it out. I ate shit, and oh man, I destroyed the back of the bike.
So you were upside down in the air, or you were holding
He
on
was
the
like
bike
this.
like this?
He basically
kinda-
pogo sticked it on the back fender.
What?
Just destroyed
You know what happened? You know what happens there? It goes doink.
rear fender, exhaust, subframe. It was all done.
Fuck.
And I
Bless you.
I ended up messing up my knee real bad, and at work I was on the apprenticeship, and if I start missing time, I'm off the apprenticeship. And
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
after some cursing from my wife, we decided we were going to get rid of the bikes. When I got rid of that, I mean, obviously I fixed it, but after I had a buddy that was riding at the time, and he was doing real well. He happened to have the 240 I have now. So he needed a bike that ran good, and I needed to get rid of it before my wife strangled me. So we kind of worked out a deal. I ended up with his car. And I'm like, I'm going to get this running, and I'm going to sell it. I got to recoup my money. This burning tire shit is stupid. And
Still is.
oh yeah. But I got the car all done. We took it to UMS, got it tuned. The car was a KAT when I got it, so basically I found another motor.
The bigger motor.
That came later.
Oh, not the first
That
one.
first motor ran for a couple years, amazingly.
You just jerking off on the table.
Oh no, Jack. Sorry.
Jacking off. I told you. We already called it.
Jack's he's my undercover boo, dude.
Oh, okay.
When he says jump, I gotta jump.
Watch out, Brittany. Ooh. Watch out.
Don't get pregnant.
Again. So, yeah, I mean, we took the car to UMS, got it tuned.
Keep in mind that when we say we got the car to UMS, we're talking seconds before his appointment because we do nothing on time. Everything is if somebody asks like who we are, they're like, oh, those are the guys that get shit ready at the last minute. You know, we have
on the track, changing trans,
yeah.
but you can't show up for an appointment.
Oh, we're like sleeping on the curb while they're tuning the car. Like, no joke. In the rocks on the curb, we're all asleep.
How many times have we slept in the rocks out behind UMS? They're not comfortable, by the way.
No, I would imagine
That's
not.
pretty bad.
But, I mean,
sleeping out there.
We got the car tuned, so I was like, okay, I can, I should be able to sell this now and at least get some of my money back. And of course, somebody's like, well, you got to drive it, Dad. You have to. And
someone
we
being
out.
Stacy or okay.
No,
Yeah, I was like, that is what I would assume, but
don't have children; they're a bad influence.
I'll fill up a little bit more, dude.
Damn. I didn't want a shot either, but
Damn.
I guess if I switch brands, I can pour my own.
There's
Maybe.
plenty left in here.
I get a shot of that fries there.
You want a fry shot?
The water.
Last night, still a little rough.
Oh yeah, and happy birthday to Stacy. I mean,
Thank
it's a
you.
little late, but
That's all right.
Belated birthday.
And
yeah.
and to Darren.
Oh, and to Darren. Yeah, what the fuck?
That's so crazy.
Two Bad Apple teammates at the same time, pretty much, right? Is it the same day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
and my
crazy.
sister.
A year
Oh.
apart.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sleeping on the rocks, UMS. Fuck
I
it,
got
gotta
the-
drive it. Then
So yeah,
it all went downhill.
Was your first event on West Track?
I think so.
I think
yeah.
so. I think it was, because I had the SR at the time.
The SR ran?
Yeah, when I first bought it, when it got shipped over here, it ran.
Yeah, we were Chris and I went on a cruise. I got back and his car's got a new motor in it. It's like
surprise?
never leave children unattended. Make bad decisions. But I went out. We went out. It was on West Track.
Yeah.
I started slinging it around and having a little bit of fun. And Stacy and I were kind of like, he's like, just follow me and do this. And I'm like, I'm going to drive this car right up his ass.
Sounds right.
And, I mean, we had a blast. And it was like, we rode bikes together.
Put me on a snowmobile at like 6 years old. That's full raced out. First thing I did was crack that son of a bitch wide open across the field. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
He looked a little small on the sled.
Stacy the Crazy at 6. Shout out.
No, I mean, we took the kids out there. Shelby was out there too. Stacy just had a little more, I want to go fast in him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go out there just like looking like just Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and all kinds of clothes. I'd stay out there until I couldn't feel my feet anymore. And he's still going around.
Yeah.
Comes back for gas. That's about it.
Yeah,
Had
right.
it going.
Yeah. Well, I always told him, I said, as long as you respect it and you respect what the machine can do, I'll let you ride. As soon as you start getting stupid,
That was like the first
I'm
minute you got on.
gonna tell you can't ride it anymore. And I guess I never
I was like
really.
the
For
That
the
was the
record
first
books,
minute.
I never did anything stupid because he never did take it away from me.
Or unless he did, he just didn't care.
Yeah, right.
Or didn't see.
No, I mean, I let him get away with a lot more than I probably should have. But
I almost looked that about myself for some reason.
I'm gonna move this out of the way here.
Just been wanting the shot. I'm pretty good. Yeah, thank you.
oh, you want one here?
No, it's all yours.
No, God damn it. I swear to God.
Oh, dude, I'm chasing that after a rough night of drinking last night.
What is the phrase? Put the hair on the dog's back or some shit like that?
No, it's called Hair of the Dog.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. That's what I said. I don't know what it's called. Just fucking take a shot.
There's too much alcohol in the house. You need to.
But anyway, so back at the trailer park with the snowmobile.
Oh yeah, wait.
I mean,
wait. So
Meanwhile,
West,
at the trailer
West
park.
track, right? So just in order. So that all happened. Snowmobile, moving up. QC happened. Queen Creek. That's when you got the house. So then that's when you guys transitioned to
No.
drifting. So this
We
was
were
before
actually living
QC.
in Gilbert when you had your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so you both did West Track, both had your own cars. Then you were like, fuck yeah, trying to murder your kid, which is cool. And then what?
Right on.
Okay, well, not like
Look,
literally murder, but.
You know, he's always had. I've always had a life insurance policy on him.
Yeah, see, there we
so,
go. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you know,
If he wrecks, he
okay.
wrecks. Yeah.
there is a monetary reason behind this stuff. But we, you know, in my family, I've been very, very, very fortunate. My wife has been supportive of just about everything we've done.
Just about.
Just well, I mean, she's had enough of our shit many times, which is understandable. I mean, I wouldn't run around with me, but she's been great. How many times we've blown the car up, we've ruined this, and don't have the money to fix that, and well, just a little bit at a time, rebuild it. I've put the car up for sale and said I'm done. You know, if I get rid of my car, I can help Stacy out more, support him. Nope, fix it.
Yeah, my mom put an end to that
Good.
shit real quick.
Good. Shout out to Chris.
Shout out.
Seriously.
Love you, Mom.
So, you know, and everything. She knows how bad, and I've always wanted to help anybody that wants to get into racing, wants to do this, wants to do that. Most of the people that are on our team, which, I mean, I say team, but it doesn't feel right. It's more like our family.
Definitely.
Everybody brings their own flavor to the table. You know, good Lord. We got like Darren, who is like,
Mad scientist.
AKA the Wizard.
The Wizard.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Darren the Wizard.
it doesn't matter if it's wiring, cage work. I don't care what it is, dude. It's like,
He's our numbers and measurements guy by a far.
He's the brains. He's
that
the
guy
brains.
is insane, man.
He does the math.
He's saying stuff, and my eyes are going like which direction, and
yeah,
Well, it's like my car too. He's like, oh yeah, it's just this. Wait, what? What? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's just this.
how do you know? Dude, I just sit here and read the internet.
Well, according to the moon and the stars and kind of where our proximity is, yeah, that's the issue. That's
Well,
pretty
we've
much
had-
it.
And sure shit, it easily is.
And he's a machinist too, so like the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like, I don't know what kind of bolt. Oh yeah, you need this thread pitch this size. Here you go. What the?
don't
fuck?
worry, I made one for you last night with my machines.
Exactly.
I already knew you were gonna ask me. Here you go. This is the bolt you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's face it. The guy is, he is very smart,
For sure.
and creative also. But the one we've, you know, Andre started out hanging out with us a long time ago.
Yeah, we've been. I started 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Is that how long it's been? So when did you guys officially name Bad Apples then? Was that 10 years?
No, that was 2 years ago.
Oh shit.
2 years ago.
Really?
Oh, it kinda,
Really?
It kind of
Come
was like
on.
a side deal. Like
I think
we
it
were
was longer
rolling
than
with
that,
it, but we didn't like officially
Oh.
like say this is us. This is
Okay.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
We decided on a name. We decided on a logo and everything. That had been maybe 3 years ago.
But you guys were still all doing the same shit, just
Yeah.
not under the name.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I thought you guys had been forever almost.
Well, I think we had a group that we always went to track with, but you know, there's nothing worse. We go to the track. It was kind of like we made a lot of friends there because we would,
Help
I mean-
everyone.
you know, we'd have a trailer full of
tools,
crap,
parts.
parts.
Well, no, it was like if somebody's ship broke, you know, if I didn't even know who the hell you were, we were giving them tools. We were giving them, you know, people were getting out of their cars, going over there to help them, you know, whatever it was, you know, we'd
What's our?
Get- you know,
what's my saying?
get their shit back on the track.
Are you ready to put it in the trailer, or do you want to drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I've thought about that now too. Like when I'm working on my car, I'm like, yo, fuck this. And then I think about what he said, and he's like, well, do you want to pack it in, call it a day, or do you want to fucking drive? I'm like, damn it.
I want to back it into
Damn
a
it,
wall.
Tony. What the hell?
Hey, there's been many times the state's like, go on a drive, and the stupid decisions just.
Hey, let's go ahead and swap a trans
Yeah.
here right now.
I'm serious. That is my favorite time. Like that was when I wasn't really into drifting. I think that was after we had that like weird article with you, right? And then it was like a couple events later. I just see your fucking car like this,
Sitting on the back of the
halfway on the trailer. I see people under it, people making a run. I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on? They're like, oh yeah, his trans broke, so they're going to replace it right now. I was like, wait, what?
And swap bell housings.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was
Yeah,
like, wait, what? You can do that fast? And what did it take? Like maybe an hour?
We did an hour and
Yeah,
45
I don't think
minutes.
I
And then you were, you didn't even miss a run.
Didn't miss a
Holy
session.
shit!
We did an hour.
Holy shit!
Hour and 45 minutes.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's
okay.
just the power of
Yeah.
of friends that care as much as you
True.
do. You know,
Dude, I was on top
if
of that
I was
motor.
by myself, that never would have happened.
Sure.
But it's like I blew the car up and everyone's like, right off the bat, Dylan's like, all right, I'm heading to your house to get a trans. Jack's like, let's get this thing up and pull it out. Dustin's on top, turning wrenches. My dad's over there shouting commands. And
Get the fuck over there
you
now.
know, it's you
Well,
got
they're
one
like,
person under the car
We don't have
unbolting stuff.
we don't have a lift. How are we gonna do this? I might put the front end on the trailer.
It was actually the
and
ones.
yank-
It was on the
yank
back of
the
my truck.
ramps.
I had the back of my truck put it up on there.
Pull the ramps out of the way. Oh, hey, we had safety involved. We did put a ratchet strap.
Oh, okay,
from
perfect.
the front of the trailer to the car, so it didn't roll out.
But I think a little bit.
We did,
Just a little bit thinking.
there was a little bit of care for safety until the transmission was loose and fell on Stacy.
But it was like there was no coordination. Well, there was a lot of coordination, but no planned coordination.
Right.
It was like all of a sudden the car went up and everybody picked a job and started doing it. Like he started getting the top bolts done, and I went onto the bottom with Jack, and we started going up the side of the trans doing the bolts. And then I can't remember. I think it was my dad. Someone jumped in the car doing the shifter.
Oh,
we had- we had a
Dylan took off to do the to go get the trans.
We had a couple tool bitches we were running back and forth
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
tools.
Yanked the
And
drive
it's-
shaft, and
That's
and
the shit that
it
I
was
like.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I mean,
fucking
yeah, it was
cool,
my
though.
car, so like I'm like really like it,
But
like
still.
you know what I mean? That's the
Like get it back running right on the track when it breaks. Fucking send it afterwards. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we also had friends from out of town there. That's the night when my dad's buddy from South Dakota was there.
Yep.
And of course, my dad's like, you got to scare the shit out of him. This is gonna be cool. But my dad has a whole new story on this whole podcast thing. But it was cool because it was like everybody just threw down, and it was like, yeah, you're getting back out there, come hell or high water, and they show up with a trans. We probably violated several environmental laws.
Well, we were containing
Maybe.
the fluid. We had buckets and stuff.
yeah, no,
you
I'm
know.
sure. Yeah.
We were in a Circle K cup. Maybe let's not lie. There was
Only at Circle K.
there was
Fuck
a
yeah.
Polar Pop cup
Fuck
involved.
yes, there it is. Shout out to fucking Circle K, dude.
There you go. And
Whole trans fluid. Good.
Yeah.
if I remember right, it also got knocked over. But again, I mean, stuff like that. When everybody comes together and just, dude, we got it done. It's like, all right, feel it out. Just kind of take it easy. This is the
Psych.
dumbest thing that's ever said in my family. Just go out there, feel it out. Yeah. It's kind of like when Stacy let me drive the 1UZ, and he's like, I think third gear's going out, Dad. Just stay in second. Okay? Right into third gear. Let's send this shit.
Yeah, there you go.
He's over there, yeah.
But it was, he goes out, rest of the day, runs car, no problems. It's like, damn. Did we really just do that? And you get that, I don't know, you get that adrenaline high from everything happening, and everybody just kind of, let's do this.
Right.
And it was cool. It's been, I don't know. There's something about having all these people that just, from all walks of life, that jump in together and, oh shit, that's broke? You need a hand? Yeah. And everybody throw down and do it. I mean, we've done it for other people. And I mean, granted, we've been burned on it.
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
you've physically been burned about it.
Oh yeah.
Blacktop burns. But,
Not to name names, but yeah.
we try to help out where we can.
Well, I think that's what separates you guys And like essentially my honest thought, obviously you guys have helped me when I was in the same situation, but I feel that everyone, you know, was happy to throw in because you guys do that without question. There's not a motive of money. You know, it's hard to even pay you motherfuckers any money ever to do like stuff, right? So it's like,
Fight you the whole
yeah,
time.
but it's like you guys are such good people, and whether or not
Let's
you
not
agree,
spread that we do shit for free. We
They
do
don't.
not do shit for free.
We absolutely do shit
no,
for free.
yeah. But I think that's what's helped out. I mean, you guys help out with Wild Horse, and there's a lot of things that you do without any like you do it because it's the right thing to do, and you do it to help other people. So when you guys have situations like that, you know, I barely knew you guys. I'm like, yo, what the hell can I do? And everyone's like, oh, dude, they got everything covered. I don't know, like stand around, maybe grab a flashlight.
We really do have a unique group of people, I think. You know, my car hasn't run in forever. But,
Just needs a wire the AccuSum.
That one was
Holy
my fault.
shit.
I blew that one up.
Let's ask Stacy how that
Oh,
one
yeah.
went down.
All right, well, hang on, I'm hooked up. Okay. No, unfortunately, I've come to really love the sport. And I think
I don't think it's a sport. I think it's
controlling something that's out of control, maybe.
I think it's everything. I mean,
I don't
it's
know.
the people, it's the environment, it's the community, it's I don't know. Drifting's not just driving the car for me. It's all
True.
of it.
It's like a way of life almost. at
What's
this
opened
point.
my eyes to that is helping out. Since this year we started like helping out on the line and shit, and you start to see everything that goes on in the background. Because I used to get, you know, be in the car sitting in line and being like, what the is going on? Like,
Right.
holy shit, let's go. I want to
Fuckers
drive.
need to send everybody quicker.
Just fucking send it.
And then you get on the other side of the table and you're doing it and you're like, oh wow, dude, I've taken so much shit for granted at these events. It's like a whole new
even
ball game.
when you think about it, there's a lot of bullshit and politics involved. And you look at the cost of other people's drift events, our drift events. We don't pay near as
Shout out
much.
to you too.
Who is that though?
I don't
You
know, dude.
Broken E30.
I can't see
Oh,
from this
man.
far away.
Them damn Sunstrom kids are in this
Oh shit.
crap. But no, I mean, you know, I used to roll up to the line and give Connor and Andy so much shit. It's like, dude, get off your fucking phone and send me.
I still do that shit, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And now I'm up there.
Nothing's changed.
I'm up there on the line on my phone, going, you know what? Fuck you, you little over. It takes a toll. I mean, I have literally sat there all night sending cars, and it's like, I'm too old for this shit. My back hurts, my fucking neck hurts. I mean, I think my finger hurts from going.
Yeah, right.
But you know, you got to support the sport even if you can't drive. There's a certain amount of head count that needs to happen to keep the events going. I mean, obviously, if Go Fast is not making money, why the hell would they keep going? So we've tried to we've been asked to help, which is, I mean, at the same point you're looking. I mean, who the hell am I in the grand scheme of things? Hey, could you guys come up with some stuff? You know, we were wondering if you'd help us. You seem to be here all the time, and people seem to respect you. We'd like some input. I mean, we've been limited to Maine, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love West, love trying different stuff, but at the same time, we've kind of been shoved in this corner where we gotta, wait till contracts run out, whatever we gotta do. So, let's make the best of what we do have on the track. I mean, I know they've been trying to get the rumble strips removed, and believe me, anybody with a drift card, don't go backwards over that shit.
Don't even go over them normal. Fuck.
You know what? Go
Going
ahead.
forward's
and
not that bad.
Throw a shout out to Greg Sear.
Oh shit.
He will tell you just how bad those rumble strips are when you're sitting on the bed of a dually. Some asshole's driving. I think his ass is still swollen for that one.
His ass is still swollen.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how you know that, but I'm gonna just laugh at it, dude.
I don't think I've ever had to stop a vehicle, get out, because I was laughing that hard. But I mean, we give everybody shit, so it is what it is. So if we can do different stuff with what we got, we're gonna try. There's some layouts that we've thought of, we've tried to do, and it just doesn't flow. So if you do regular main, guys come back through the pits. There's
A lot of spectators
some,
and running around and stuff.
I mean, let's face it. You're coming through with your car. You want to get back to the track, and somebody wants fries, and they want to walk across to get their fries, and you're like, "Get out of my way!"
That's true. Actually, that's pretty accurate.
And you're like, "What?
Yo, fuck your fries."
Why didn't I leave the fucking horn hooked up in there?
Yeah, right.
I saved a half a pound by getting rid of it. But, God damn.
The worst is when it's like the IFO car show and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
And you're trying to
Oh,
get through that
shit.
shit.
The problem is me
You got the bass shows and car shows
the problem-
and
Your
car
boy struggles to
models.
stay calm on that one.
Yeah, see, the problem
And
with me is I go through and revving, going through there trying to get people to move out of my way. I'm like, ah!
He just revs in general.
I
so.
I have a backup alarm that I want to try and put on my car that I can just beep, beep, beep. Motherfuckers. So there is a rhythm for two-step, by the way. But
right, shit.
I mean, God forbid anybody ever gets hurt at an event with something like that happening. But I it's real easy, and I've done it to say, this is stupid. They should do it like this. If they did it like this, we could do that, and it'd be cool. But let's face it, the guys that drive straight line hate us. And we would love to have, every event where we don't have to worry about the drag strip. We could run XDC. We can do this. We can do that. But in reality, for Go Fast to keep going, and I mean, they have what? How many people are working for Go Fast? They have guys at gates, guys taking tickets. They ain't doing that for free. They're getting paid, and they have families. Chuck's got a responsibility to make sure these guys get their money. So when we have an event with a low car count and they're losing money, he's got to pay those people out of his pocket. And I don't think everybody really thinks about that. I don't expect to go out to the track and help and get paid. I mean,
It's just helping the community out at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I want to help the community grow.
we go out there and Chuck and the boys will come by and drag by some burgers or whatnot. And they're like, here. It's like, oh, cool.
Hell yeah.
Can't turn out free food.
I was just about to walk away from the line because I'm hungry. But
when you guys are helping, it's not about the company per se. It's more about the community. I feel like.
I don't.
Because regardless of who the company is, you would be doing
I'm
that
not gonna
regardless.
I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I don't give a shit about Go Fast. No, these guys are going. They're dealing with the people at the track to get dates, to secure insurance. Which, I mean, let's face it. I think there's been a few people that have looked into it, and I think the guys at the Track Society could probably chime in and go, yeah, it's expensive. And it is. I'm not putting anybody down at the tracks, anything. You can go to Tucson. Let's face it. We've all been there. You got how many hour drive? You go down there, you drive all night, and then the next thing you got to do is drive that goddamn truck and trailer all the way back.
After you stop at Triple T.
Yes, shout out to Triple T.
And you got to have a truck and trailer to even do that, right?
Exactly.
Now it's 4 a.m. by the time you get home.
Yeah, holy shit.
It's fun going down to Tucson and driving, but nothing beats having a track in your backyard.
Right.
Like,
It's like a 15
how many
minute
people, how many states have that where you get an event every month, sometimes twice a month. Sometimes you get bashes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's right there.
Right.
Half of us drive our cars there.
Most of us, yeah.
Actually, a lot
It's
of
the
people
coolest
do.
shit
Yeah.
ever to just
some
go
of us,
right
some
down
of
the
us
street.
break our car every single event. and
I
then
wonder who
take
that is.
months off in between.
We've got the community trailer. We've towed a lot of cars.
Yeah, I
home
was
on
gonna
these
say,
trailers.
shit. He's towed my car after East.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not gonna load mine up. You can load it on the trailer. I'll drive my car home.
My shit still runs.
I don't have third gear, but I'll drive it home.
That's just like a whip in the face at that point.
Yeah,
Why
right.
still runs?
You know, but it's gonna happen. We all know it's gonna happen. It's like if you think you're driving your daily to the track and drifting it every day and or every event, and then driving it home, I think we all learned that doesn't happen.
It works
Yes.
for a little bit, and then
Yes.
as you start to get that confidence level up and the fear level goes down,
Yep.
and you start, you know, that last event that we had, it fucking killed me watching those two cars wreck. Like
The FRS and
the BRZ and the
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
the Infinity,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a
yeah.
G37.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that shit is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like you put all this time and effort into these cars, and like to run up on these guys after they wreck in the wall, and you get there and you see the look on their face of just like
Oh
Fuck.
shit!
confusion and like, is my shit okay? Dude, that's heartbreaking.
Mhm.
Like
Well, I think-
when that BRZ wrecked, dude, like fuck, I wanted to cry.
We've all been there.
Well, I think
You
that like as a spectator, you don't realize how much honest blood, sweat, and tears go into these cars, and obviously the time. But like I remember back to when that we were talking earlier about you doing a burnout on a wall. That was the same day that 240 crashed into the K wall,
Oh,
like
yeah.
straight on, and that I think it was an RX-7
Caught fire.
literally caught fire.
And burnt.
Shout out to Connor on that, dude.
Yeah, holy shit.
Went in flames and ripped that guy out of the
Yeah,
car.
and
Like-
and that's what I remember talking to him. He's like, "Well, this didn't work. I couldn't get out here. Had to get out of the sunroof." I'm like, "Holy shit!" But like that at the time, I was like, "Oh, dude, this is fucking sick. This is crazy. This is cool." But now I'm like, "Dude, fuck me. Like now that sucks. Like, is it
Yeah,
totaled? Can we even fix it?
Yeah,
like, it's
what
gonna
would,
be
what would it be
wild."
like if that was you? You know?
Exactly. And I
I-
think like the RX-7 guy is still not out. That was 2 years ago. And that's hard.
I never
That's
seen
sad.
anything about
I
it.
think-
Yeah.
To be honest, I was running West Track when
Yeah,
that
you're on,
happened.
you're on
Yeah.
the bottom.
I was down on the bottom and I looked up and I saw the fire and I was like,
It's fucking massive.
Andres was down there helping me and I'm like, holy! And I think that's all Andres heard. I was just booking back up there and the truck pulled up and it's like, to me it happened real slow. And I jumped on the back of the truck because the guy couldn't get the hose out of the truck
Yeah.
to try and put any fire retardant, whatever. And it was like, I didn't even. Next thing I know is I was standing on the bumper of the truck and I pulled the release and started feeding them hose as fast as I could.
Mm.
And then afterwards it was like, uh-oh, Chuck's gonna kill me. I don't have my radio. Where the fuck did I put my radio? I'm like, I don't even remember. Did I throw it in a... shit. But it ended up that I had run up there. I jumped on the back of this truck, was helping. I set my radio in the back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I don't remember any of that. I just remember trying to make sure everybody was all right and get, these guys away from the car and let safety do their job.
Yeah, I think us getting invited, to help with the events and stuff changed everything. Like, I might not know you from Tom and Harry or who the hell you are, but I care a lot about you when you're on that track.
For
And,
sure.
like when you wrecked, dude. Like, I don't even remember. Like, I remember screaming in the radio and throwing the radio and jumping the wall and just sprinting across. Pretty stupid to sprint across the live track. I think I remember yelling at my dad on the radio to like stop sending cars, and I yelled for ambo, and it just took off running.
Well, because I remember I hit the wall. I look over, I see Preston. I'm like, fuck. And he's looking at me like, fuck. I look over, then you're at my fucking
You're like-
window. Literally.
you're like, oh,
that's exactly what happened. Like, oh, what the fuck? And you're like, yo, are you good? I'm like, I think so. Like, I don't know. It just happened. I don't know how did you teleport here? Or what the fuck happened,
What
dude?
the fuck?
I mean, luckily nobody's, as far as I can remember, there hasn't been like a serious injury. I mean, there's been bumps and bruises, and like your shit hurts afterwards. And
Sure.
your ego's a little bruised from your car being
Mostly
fucked
the
up,
ego.
I've
but
never personally checked my shit afterwards
thank
to see
God
if it hurt.
nobody's been hurt.
Yeah.
That would kill.
Well,
It would
and
kill me inside if someone got.
that
like,
did happen a while ago, right? That was with the new kind of rules with the door bars when we weren't running door bars, right? We were doing
I think
tandems.
something happened out of state
Oh, okay.
where somebody got T-boned, and I think that's when it all started. When
Okay.
it was like that.
So it wasn't here, though, but it did happen.
Well,
Because I remember running tandems without a cage, and
Yeah, we used to do that all the time.
like 6 or 8 car tandems with no
Oh,
cage, and now
shit.
you like
Yeah.
look back and you're like, wow, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Yeah. I mean, like you were looking at your car yesterday, without the inside of the door. That's it. There's just a very, very thin piece of metal, and that's it.
If you think about it.
Well, actually, I'm thinking about it, though. We did have one incident. Greg did break his thumb.
I think it was
On a solo run.
everybody looks at each other going, do we approach this?
Do we roast this son of a bitch right now? I know he's watching.
I just remember that one.
We love you, Greg.
That dude's in Colorado laughing his ass off right now.
Probably.
He's probably like, damn, that thing's still hurts.
It's like,
hell."
fuck.
Yeah,
Andres
sure.
has a little tear rolling down his eye because it's his car. No, but no one's gotten hurt, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. But it's hard to watch, regardless. Yeah, seeing that
I
happen.
think there's been a lot of people that have gotten bumped and bruised and
Yeah, we've all been down there.
little seatbelt rash. But I mean, the main thing is it's really cool that we have a place to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We have a company out there that is willing to put the work in to get insurance, stuff like that going. Chuck and Keith do quite a bit that nobody will ever see. As far as securing track dates and stuff like that, which is a lot of work. I didn't think about it. It was just like, oh, dude, all you got to do is call them up and rent the track. Go ahead and try that. Let's see how that goes. So I know they're working. They're trying to get other options and trying to expand to be able to use different tracks. We've talked about East Track, but the only problem with East Track is it's kind of a hard track in order to have spectators. If you look at the track layout and stuff, even from Google Earth, or can I even say that? You have to pay these guys if I say something. Shit. Yeah. But you look at the layout of the track, and it's you could have spectators in a couple of places. So it kind of sucks on that side. I mean, even West Track at points, it's like there's a couple of corners that are high speed that are fun as hell, and nobody can see you do it. So it's like we need somebody taking pictures over there so somebody can see some of the cool shit I'm doing. And even those guys, a lot of these guys were out there. They're buying cameras and shit that costs as much as my car.
More.
Or
Yeah,
more.
more than
More.
Yeah, when I found out how much Zach's camera was worth
Mhm.
when it got dropped at the event and broke, I was like, oh,
Yeah. And that's not even including the lenses
God
and all that other
damn,
shit.
son.
I
Some
was
change in the
chasing
pocket there, boy.
Yeah. And shooting for free. And
Yeah.
shooting for free. And taking their time to do it, yeah.
and then posting them up, and it's like, okay, well, if you want this picture, pay, go to this site, pay this much for the picture, and that's like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, you ain't making a living doing this, are you? No. I get a day job, so
Yeah, I don't know how Alec and Zach do that, man. I mean, it's
all of them. I mean,
that's a lot of pocket change there, boy.
I mean, we used to do it, but we stopped because of that exact reason. It's just you're on the blacktop and you're just sweating your ass off. You have dark photos, fast cars don't really go together to take good pictures. And then, you take all these pictures. People are complaining that they're not out the next day. It's like, well, I have to go through all these fucking photos. I have to edit the photos that are good and then get them out. And I have other shit that I got to do.
It's just
So it's like-
so much shit that
Yeah, I
gets
just-
taken for granted.
Exactly. And then for me, I was
you
like,
don't-
oh, fuck it. I don't even want to do it now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
even think about that.
There's so much work goes in a
You're like,
photo.
Yeah.
Like just one photo. Take
So
10 minutes.
somebody's putting damn photographers on here.
Oh, that's no,
Yeah.
he's another photographer. I was like, wait. Oh,
No, those guys they
Yeah.
got iron souls, man. They'd be out there sweating their what's off.
And then on top of
their
it,
asses.
Their
on
asses.
top of it, they're like, okay, you have to wear this vest.
Yeah.
Another layer of clothing. It's like, shit.
Well, that's why I was like, shout out to Excessive Wear, 80 Photos, Nebula Films,
Man,
all
there's-
those guys.
there's so many
and
guys
more,
out
and
there.
more.
there's so many people out there taking shots, and it's like some of the pictures that they've been taking. It's like, oh.
Sorry, we had a party last night
grab me a
at the
strawberry.
shop. It got,
Yeah.
we got a little saucy.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
little.
a picture of a cone on your head.
Yeah.
I had
And
a
then
sombrero
who
and a
was on the
cape.
floor? That's what I was gonna ask. Oh, it's you.
He had the
And
vest on.
he was wearing his cape, so he was super passed out.
Yeah. I usually get home and pass out in the hallway and talk to our dog Pickles. And
Hell yeah.
shout out to Brittany. I scared her half to death. She thinks I'm dead in the hallway.
No, he's just fucked up. Do that again.
Just go kick him a
Again.
couple times.
Brittany's the real MVP for putting up with my shit. I don't usually get angry when I'm drunk, but man, I get sloppy. I'm falling all over the place and hugging on somebody. Probably giving too many people a kiss on the cheek and stuff.
You were going after Kyle pretty good last night. Shout out to Kyle. That was a. I would have been like, nah, bro, get off me.
Shit.
Well,
I think he kissed Kyle more last night than he did Brittany ever.
But I can't be grateful enough for Go Fast allowing us to help them out. You know, it's really changed everything when you get on that side. It's a lot of work that you don't see. You know, and you're out there in June. It's 180,000 degrees. Your feet are melting, and you can feel your skin falling off, and you're just out there helping beginners do the drift clinic, and then you're hanging out for an hour or two for the event to start, and then you get there at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're there until
we're usually late. We're there,
we're
like
late.
Yeah.
10 minutes after it starts.
Yeah, and then you're there till 1 o'clock when everything's all said and done, and you crank down the light towers and pick up everybody's fucking trash, pick your shit up after the events.
After
Please.
like meets, events in general, camping,
Yeah.
fishing.
Pack in, pack out.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
exactly. Yeah. What's the camping rule?
Pack in, pack out.
Oh, is that what it is?
Mhm.
Okay.
But, so you're there, how many hours of the day and
Mm.
melting your ass off. But it's fun. I love doing it. When I can't drive, I love being there to help out, like on the line.
And then we stand there on the line and bitch about not being able to drive.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
We're- And I think the main focus this year was the number one complaint you always see is what?
I
seat
don't
time.
get enough.
Exactly.
seat.
Yeah.
Seat time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you finally realize, like, with the accidents and how much, trying to coordinate the schedule when you just knocked out an hour because there's oil from the first corner
Right.
to the tires,
Yeah.
you got to make split-second decisions to
it's
cut
oil.
stuff out of the schedule.
It's oil. The Miata guys are like, let us go.
80 horsepower
Hang
shiny.
it out. I mean, but, in all seriousness, that's another driving hazard, shall we say? Because there isn't a 240 that doesn't leak something.
Yeah, that's right. Mine's leaking tears right now.
Liquid
No, but
plastic.
trying to coordinate a schedule around that, you want to get these guys as much time on the track driving as possible.
Right.
And so when something like that happens, you're just scrambling. Like last event, we lost that. What was it? The motor, someone lost the oil filter or something. We had oil from the first corner all the way to the end of the Manji,
That's crazy.
and we.
Why is it my first thought is, oh, shit, I wonder if that motor's going to make it or not.
Yeah. No, Go
That
Fast.
first thing that pops in your
They
head.
jumped on it right away. They got out there with floor dry and a sweeper and everything. They cleaned it up, and then they said, hey, pick 3 drivers, have them make a run, and we'll see
Right.
how it is. We did that. They said,
still-
no,
I
dude,
want to
that
see
first
that
corner.
asshole over there, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
It was still a
Dustin,
little slick in the first
Dustin,
couple.
send it.
yeah.
And
We'll do it.
so they said, all right, it's not ready. It's still pretty rough. So they did another round of floor dry, and then it was good to go. And then we're like sitting there, and we're like, all right, so we'll cut out the hot lap session, the first one, and we'll let the beginners go an additional half an hour, and then we'll kind of fill in here at the end of the night, and just so everybody can get as much time. And
Right.
and
It worked out well.
yeah.
I would say.
Unfortunately, the reality of it is intermediates their time's a little shorter, but they're gonna get more runs because you can send a car because they're a little better at maintaining the
Right.
whole track, so you can send another car right up their ass, and you're all right. The beginners, we usually wait until they get into that second corner to send a car.
Right.
Well, also
You
too, I mean, once you're down there for long enough, you can figure out who's gonna make it through it. Stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Exactly,
See
yeah.
cars.
But
Yeah,
it's been fun this year. We bumped a lot of drivers up to intermediate. Intermediate's getting fuller and fuller, and And there's just so many drivers coming out to learn
That's
the
100 plus
sport.
100 plus drivers
Yeah.
usually, dude. At
It's
least.
like, I didn't even realize they made that many 240s.
Well,
What do you
it's further
think?
on
I mean,
the wall.
really, it's a kind of like Nissan's Cavalier, to be quite honest.
For drifting, yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
and
It
then
really
now all of a
is.
sudden
Yeah.
everybody's got one. Well,
As the
I
peop-
can't say anything.
As
I
the
have
people,
one.
as
You
the
have
people
8?
would say,
I only have
the Honda
I only have
drifting.
one.
Yeah, it is.
I only have one 240.
It's the Honda Civic drifting,
You
buddy.
you own one, or there is one more than one on your property,
Let's ask
or
him
you
who's on
co-own
property.
these
No,
ones?
no.
Okay.
We're gonna.
Scrap shit.
We need to cut down on inventory.
Every
here.
time I see a 240 post, I just tag you guys. I'm like, here you go.
Yeah,
Maybe you're
thanks for
interested.
that.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, we
You're
got
as bad as my dad helping me out on offer up.
Oh shit.
But what do you do? Sometimes it's kind of hard to just say
no.
no.
Nope.
They're like, hey, I know you have all these 240s, so I found this really fucking good deal. It's actually free. You just gotta pick it up.
And we're dumb enough to go do it.
We're gonna take the trailer with the winch today.
It's like, well, say in the pictures it looks like it still has subframes, and
Oh, it's got a door in it. I need that door.
I need that door. Yeah. Buy the
Yeah,
whole
we're buying a
car.
whole car for like a
Buy the whole
subframe
car.
bolt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We have a bucket of subframe bolts, but we need that car though.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's happened more than once.
Well, and
Up to
speaking
you.
of cars, where's your car at, Stacy? Because I know a lot of people haven't seen you out driving, and now it seems like we're looking at maybe seeing you
Too
up
busy
here shortly.
spreading his seed.
Cannot confirm or deny.
No. I got the new house a couple years ago, 2 years ago now, and got my 7-year-old and Jaden, and got my newborn Grayson and Brittany, and trying to spend as much time with them as possible. I work late hours. I'm working 2 p.m. to 11:30. I usually don't get home till about 12, and it's been hard getting time to work on the car because I just want to spend as much time as I can with my family. And but I got some time to work on my car this last week, and we got it over to my dad's shop, and everybody came over once again and threw down. We decided to try and make our own cage, and it has been
Turned out well.
yeah.
I looked at it. It looks good.
Yeah, Darren, once again, that fucking crazy son
The
of a
wizard.
bitch.
I'm trying to get that nickname cemented here.
Him and
The wizard.
my dad and Dylan doing some welding, and Jack's been helping us, and everybody's come over and helped, and basically all we got left is the intrusion bars on the cage, and
A little bit of welding.
got some welding to do, and I cut the front of the car, most of the front of the car off because I T-boned Andres and pushed the whole front end in, and
Okay, let's rephrase that. You've hit Justin.
You've
Dustin.
monster truck Justin. You've monster truck me. You've hit a wall, a pole.
you ever
another
seen Days
wall.
of Thunder? Cole Trickle. There you go.
I want you to go out there and hit the pace car.
But yeah, I just got to finish. I got to throw a tube in the front and then get the motor in, get the drive shaft done.
A little bit of paint.
I want to paint it, but if I can't paint it to run the 22nd, I won't.
So that's the next
No.
this month's event then.
I'm hoping.
So you'll be running this
No.
month.
I'm hoping.
Come on.
We're at the
Just
9th already.
finish it, and then drive it.
Nah.
Let's just get the paint inside paint and stuff, and then let's just.
Hey, he did a test and tune with no paint. I can do a test and tune
Yeah,
with no
true.
paint.
I
True.
painted. At least I painted my interior
No.
engine bay before I did that.
I've never really drove with like
The
the
interior-
angle before, so I'm really excited about having.
Oh,
you know,
Well, the problem is
shout out to Dylan making some crazy knuckles.
you don't want to take everything back out to paint the inside.
I'll do it.
This guy over here. Let's just paint the inside, man.
Now we'll shoot it. We'll probably get a shot, and then hopefully 22nd. Man, I'm itching. I'm
That'd be
itching to
fucking
drive
cool.
again.
It'd be cool to
you
see
know.
out there. Are you gonna start beginner then or what?
Yeah, we're gonna put him down in the clinic. He needs to learn his figure
Oh,
eights and
okay.
do
There
it
we go.
No, Andres has been letting me drive his car, and that guy, man, he'll give you the shirt off his back if you ask him for it. So,
For
and I'll
sure.
be standing there. He can see the look in my eye, and he's like, "Go drive." What? Yes, go drive. All right, and I go make a run or two, and I'm like, "All right, I'm done." He's like, "Fuck no, you're not. Get out there. The hot lap session's coming up. You're not getting out of that car." And he lets me burn his gas, his tires, and beat the living shit out of that poor RB that's seen hell. And
Yeah, he's actually made me drive it a few times, and
mhm.
I've had a lot of fun in that car.
Yeah.
Wise Fab's pretty fun.
Nobody has a taste. you guys are all dumb as shit, but nobody hesitates to let me get in their car and drive it, which is probably the dumbest thing.
It's probably a good thing you're probably not driving everyone's cars.
Yeah, right.
So that takes the edge off, getting to drive some other people's cars. You at
Sure.
least get to drive, but I want to be in my own car again.
Yeah.
I always kind of tone it back a couple notches when I'm in someone else's car because I've blown up my dad's car in Tucson. Fucking killed me.
Well, so
pretty
that's a
bad.
good point that I was going to ask. As far as, so last year, that was last year's Pro-Am, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you ran it, and then what happened with your dad's 240? Because you weren't driving your 240 for just the power, I guess, that it didn't have?
No.
I had
I
a bolt-in cage at the time.
Didn't have a
Oh,
cage.
okay.
And
So
I couldn't keep the transmission in the car.
Well,
No.
maybe you weren't doing third gear burnouts. You would have a working trans.
Your car was trashed.
Mm-hmm.
The cage wouldn't pass. There was a lot of things, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I talked to Chris, and I'm like, hey, I was thinking about doing this, and she's like, well, why don't you drive? I'm like, well, I'm a little older than some of our fellow competitors, and I'm like, well, if I do this, I get Stacy out there. So I spent a bunch of money on another motor.
A
Got it
bunch
all
of
ready
money.
to go.
A bunch of money.
Let's not talk about how much money was in that.
Mm.
He doesn't want to.
Hey, my mom's watching. We're not going to say any numbers,
Okay.
gentlemen.
Yes.
So like $10,
Yeah. It was like $750 on eBay.
Hell
And,
yeah, brother.
We got it running,
shipping.
and we got it. I had a lot of help from a lot of people. I mean, I can't even begin to start with all the people that have helped, but
Like that night we snuck over and put your motor in transit.
that could be one of them. Yeah.
That was after Pro-Am though, right?
No, that was before.
That was before.
Oh, it was.
That was
Okay.
before. That was to get it to go.
Okay.
Get it to the dyno,
Mm.
and it made some good power, and it was really cool to drive for a couple laps, and then somebody said, oh, "Let me try," and I never drove the car again
Well,
with that motor.
what was the issue with the motor again?
Well, so let's
This
go
is
back.
Tucson, right?
We'll go back.
This is Tucson though, right? The Pro-Am, that's when
Let's
it
go
broke?
back.
Yeah. So
Okay.
He ran
He
Phoenix.
ran Phoenix Pro-Am too.
So I've never thought about drifting in a competition sort of way. For me, it's always been just going out and having fun. I've never taken lines like seriously. I've just tried to follow my buddies and get on their door and drive
have
with them,
fun.
and it's always been for fun. And then my dad's like, "You're driving my car for Pro-Am."
Shit.
I said, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, all right, I got a stack of tires sitting here. You're driving Pro-Am, so get your gear."
In
You
other
know.
words, you're not safe around Stacy.
True statement.
I mean, it's,
Well, your car's not safe.
Just anything.
No, but so he let me drive.
someone said, Stacy, raise your hand. Who broke Tony's car?
Which time?
No, so I'd never thought about it in a competitive aspect. And I mean, when he let me get in the car and everybody, you have to pick your crew members and everything, and it's hotter than two rats fucking in a wool sock behind a dryer in Phoenix.
Just had to throw that one back in somewhere.
I've
Huh?
been waiting.
What the fuck did I just hear?
Yeah. But they're out there standing there melting to death out there, and that first time I got up to the line for a practice run, you could practically see my heart bouncing off the windshield, and I can barely hold still. And we had the advantage over a lot of people because we know how to make that double left.
Right.
Everybody's ripping on their handbrake. They're doing everything they can to make
But
that
we know how to make
turn.
a line.
And for
all the way
clarification, which track is this for people that might
This
not
would
know?
be XDC layout, so it'd
Exactly.
be long course.
So this is the one at Wild Horse.
Yes,
Yeah,
where you
okay,
come under
cool.
the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten to run that a few times. So
Quite a few.
that was I had that confidence that I know this layout, but now I need to understand where my lines are supposed to be,
Right.
and not just send it. So it was really awesome. We made a few practice runs, got to feel a little better in the car. The thing that I really take back on is I didn't run very many tandem runs,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish I would have. I made my first qualifying run, and my dad was telling me, you got an 80 something, mid 80s, and
I know one of them's a 77.
I
one of them's
honestly
82 or
didn't-
something.
82.
I didn't expect to qualify. I really didn't. I saw the level of drivers over there and the people that were there, and I was like, damn.
Some really
dude.
fucking good
There was
drivers.
some
Some
really good drivers.
really fucking good drivers. And
Yeah.
taking that track blind
Mhm.
is crazy, in my opinion.
Well, some of
Yeah.
the guys were out there with 500-600 horsepower, so
Right,
they were
right.
definitely they had no speed.
Mhm.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people I'd never met before, you know. It felt cool being out there with like Zach and people that were just dicking around here at local events and decided to do it.
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
was fun. I was
That
like,
was
hell yeah,
definitely cool.
Arizona boys, let's get it.
exactly.
There's
Let's
a lot
get
of
it.
Arizona boys that
Yeah.
day. A lot.
I have a lot of confidence driving with Zach, and so nobody had really linked up for a tandem.
Zach Messner, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That banana boy.
Big
But that-
banana.
Bunch
of fruits.
Yeah, so they broke
Literally.
us apart for after the first practice, and they were talking to us, and they're basically only the Arizona guys were getting the double left, and we're like, okay, and he's like, but no one's tandeming. You guys need a tandem. And then they started the second practice, and again, no one was tandeming, and I was like,
Mhm.
all right, Zach, like let's run a couple tandems. Unfortunately, I never chased. I just led. I get real nervous behind somebody because I don't want to wreck into their shit, especially for the pro-am event.
Which is
you know?
weird for
And,
to hear you say, but okay.
the main thing is I was in my dad's car. He just got
Sure.
the doof kit on there. It looked pretty.
You could blow it up.
Um,
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But
it
and
looks pretty, but
I was
there's
scared.
parts
I mean-
coming out from underneath again.
I was
fuck
scared
it.
about the motor. It's been an ongoing issue with that KA, and I was like,
Right.
I was kind of pussyfooting it a lot here and there.
I don't know.
And then my dad pulled me aside, and he's like, dude, are you gonna fucking drive that thing, or are you just gonna pussyfoot the track? And then that's when I was like, all right, fine, like I'll lay into it.
Oh, I'm afraid of blowing it up.
And then we heard a couple
why
limiter
are you
pops.
afraid of it? It's happened numerous times. If
Mhm.
it happens, it happens.
Yeah, so I got
Well,
that.
you
and just to
can't-
hit up on that
You
engine,
can't
it's a
hold back.
turbo KA,
Mhm.
making
KT.
rough.
It was-
What's the rough horsepower on that?
400 plus.
450 at the wheels.
So that's
Mhm.
pretty crazy for a KA. But yeah,
Mhm.
sorry, just for people who don't know, 'cause that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So I made that first qualifying run. They're like, dude, you're like an eighth. I was like, all right. So there's only a couple cars left behind me. I'm probably in. Let's throw down on this second run. Like, we'll give her some. And got a little too aggressive. Got a 0 on my second run.
What was the 0 for? Do you remember?
I went off track.
Okay.
And then
You hit it hitting the outside clip point. You went too deep into it.
mhm.
Yeah, but it wasn't like you spun it; just you went
He
too
went
deep into it.
He wanted to go. He wanted to
Yeah.
slang it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can barely see over the hood in that car.
You need
I
a
can-
booster seat.
Yeah, I can barely see over the steering wheel and stuff. But it came down to my actual battle. And that's like when the nerves, like, they hit me
I fucking
hard,
bet,
dude.
yeah.
I was like,
Can't imagine.
fuck, dude. And moral of the story, man, I just choked on my second run, or on my battle. I got nervous. I made a big mistake on the double left, the part that I had felt most confident the
Well, who
entire
were you
time.
running against? Do you remember? I know this was a while ago, but
Daniel Stuckey?
That sounds about right. I'm pretty
what
sure.
does he
Actually,
drive? Is
yeah.
this another
He had a-
240?
S13?
Hit it.
S-
Black
S13.
S13, black and gold.
It was
Okay.
a- yeah, it was a
And then
coupe
what
with
happened? So
JC.
you were lead or chase?
A lot of people were.
I was lead,
a lot of-
and I came into the double left, and you come onto the bridge, and right before you make the transition to the double left,
I remember.
I just straightened out.
I remember what
Oh, really?
I remember what happened pretty good too. Was
Mhm.
that he initiated in front of you, and there's a little bit of a brake touch because everyone's going too wide on that turn, and I think it kind of pushed you off of him.
Mhm.
And that's what
Mhm.
you tried to chase him down, and you couldn't get enough.
I made a mistake, and it was good to get my feet wet and get in there, and I had a blast doing it. It was a whole new aspect on drifting, trying to learn the competitive side of it.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm super glad you guys got me talking to that pro
Yeah,
in
and then-
Tucson. That was pretty fun.
And get some of the butterflies out.
Well, I think that's hard too. Like, you're saying, you're qualifying whatever you get almost essentially before that unlimited runs, and you qualify, you have 2, and so hopefully one of them is good. And then
Mhm.
when you actually compete, if you fuck up, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you straighten, if you go too far, if you don't hit this, fucking done. And that's
Mhm.
not like normal drifting. Obviously, if you hit a cone, everyone's like, "Yo, fuck yeah, dude." But like
Mhm.
if you're like competing, it's like a big deal. It's like, dude, that's 0.
Well, they want you to hit clip points, but like the
Right,
thing is,
but
they
going
want-
in, like,
but you
deep.
gotta have a certain. You can't hit it like the back. You can't hit it above like the front wheel or the
Mhm.
back wheel, and then if you hit it on the front, it's instant.
Sure.
You're out. You know.
But yeah, I'm sure that's not. Most people don't even know what that's
Yeah.
like.
It was fun. It was a blast. It was a good eye opener, and then Tucson was up next, and
That was like the next month.
that was
2
Was it-
It was like a month and a half
Okay.
apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was only a couple weeks apart.
No, it was like a month and a
Yeah, I
half.
felt like it was close, but I don't remember.
it went
very
really
well.
quick because we were like prepping for it and like we're
Yeah,
all-
yeah, okay.
we talked Dustin into doing it.
drunk Stacy talking into that one.
Yeah, so it was like, all right.
And Andres.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Driving-
him talking.
So we got down to Tucson and driving that track. I'm so used to my V8 where, you know, I'm like at like $2,000, I could just step on it and she comes back up.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad's got that big old turb ski on there, and
I don't
she
think
got a little bit of lag to her. And you know, that track has so many different speed variations. Like you try to enter fast and you got to get slowed down, and then you got to hit that big wide open corner. So you're running up through the gears.
Definitely.
And shit, I didn't even know how to get his car into reverse when I got in that thing. Like, I couldn't get it into
The
reverse.
funny
Shit.
part is I still ask him how to get that car in reverse every now and then. I'm like, hey, what is it, like over, back, or
What's
what
different
is it?
about it then?
It's got a
C009.
Oh, you have to push it
CD009,
down.
You gotta push it down.
Yeah, when I
and
bought
go
my
over.
Z, I was at the DMV, and that was my first time. I was like, yo, how do I fucking put this in reverse? I had to literally Google it at the DMV. I was like, oh, you push down this. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I had enough
felt
of it. I'm like, hey,
retarded.
motherfuckers, can someone push me back? And my dad reaches in. He's like, no, you got to push down. And but anyways, you know, made a couple of practice runs, and it felt good. And it was, you know, it was difficult to drive. Getting used to the boost lag and stuff. So I'm just like beating the shit out of the clutch pedal. And
But
then
was it different from when you drove it in Phoenix then? So was there did something happen in between that,
it
or
was
was
just
it the same
it's smaller
car?
and technical. So
It was the same
like,
car.
It wasn't just like we're at,
Oh, because that
at
one's a
Wild
little
Horse.
bit,
You're up in
yeah.
the leveler. You're up
Right.
on high RPM.
But you're saying this when you're low RPM, or
And you're
at least trying
changing
to, yeah,
gears a
okay.
lot.
Okay, gotcha.
And I made a couple runs, felt good, and then I made one more run, and I got in the gas, and she didn't want to go anywhere, and
He came up next to
I
me
could
after
hear
that
something
one.
making noise, and I didn't know if it was the transmission or not, and I pulled into the pits, and Brian looked at me, and he's like, "It's done," and dude, my heart sank.
Yeah.
Like my dad didn't even get
I'm
to
not-
drive this car
I'm-
yet.
I was sitting there next to you, and I was like, oh,
I couldn't
no,
couldn't look my dad in the eyes. I got out of the car and I just walked straight over to the fucking fence and just buried my face in the fence. And
Well, because
just,
I
like,
remember hearing that car come up, and you could hear that something was knocking pretty hard.
that hurt. Dude, that fucking
Yeah.
hurt a lot. I didn't want to look my dad in the eyes. And I fucking destroyed another motor. And, you know, I wanted to run the event. I wanted to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but that killed me.
Well, what was the issue with the engine?
Cylinder 4 took a shit.
Lost oil pressure.
Was it?
It was.
Was it something that could have been
Believe it or not,
prevented?
it's, it's just a small plug that came out of the can.
Oh, really?
The problem is if it would have kept that plug in it, it
It
probably,
probably
still
would
be
have been
alive.
all right.
It probably still be
Really?
alive
It
this day.
just, you know, it is what it is. You know,
You're beating these things up hard.
you're out there and you're pushing and pushing and pushing and they, you know, they're like, oh crap, the car's making noise. I think it's hurt, and it's like, but will it still make power? Is there a way he can still go out and make it work?
And the answer was a big no.
I was
And-
not getting
oh,
back in that car.
Right.
Yeah, we saw what the oil pressure and stuff was like, and at that point, it's like, okay, it's gonna grenade. We're gonna oil the track down. We can't.
This
you
is
know,
gonna be,
we're-
this is
we're
gonna be
over.
bigger.
This is
we're
going to make
done.
it worse,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I had a little struggle when that happened, because I was like, and the funny part is Stacy's saying, "Oh God, Dad didn't get to do this. He didn't get," and I'm mad because I couldn't get the car to hold together for him. I'm like, I failed. I just, regardless of what we did, I failed to provide him a car that could support him. So, I mean, well, that, and, you know, the dollar signs did run through my head. I'd be lying if I didn't say that.
But that's nothing that you could have prevented, though, right? That was more of like a...
Just a fluke thing.
Right.
We've got it. It's rebuilt. It's back in the car. I just...
Someone's dragging their feet.
Scared.
Scared?
Scared of blowing it up again. I'm not driving the fucking car ever again.
I feel bad. I drove it more than he did.
I'm just gonna sit in the fucking seat and make engine noises, and
And-
that's gonna be me driving it.
Well, you know, that's better than other people on the team that were trying to kill us by not bolting the tire back on. Torque wrenches, kids. Torque wrenches.
I said, we're trying to kill you. You're just trying to kill me.
Someone's
That
trying
could
to die.
be. That could be.
Well, so with that all being said, what's our next step? So as far as, with Bad Apples and especially Stacy running in Pro-Rem, Pro-Am, excuse me. Are we running that this year? Are we looking for a full program next year? What are your guys' thoughts on that then?
I don't know if I'll ever get to I'd like to do the full program. Money just, the local ones are okay,
Mm-hmm.
but traveling and then gas, tires, where to stay, where to
Taking time
eat,
off work.
taking time off work.
Right.
I'm hoping to run this year.
The full Pro-Am?
No.
There's only one stop left this year.
There's only one
which is
stop
here.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That's right.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping to run
I
here.
meant next year.
That's why I'd like to get the car ready for the 22nd, get a good shakedown on it, see what it's like. Because now I have the C009 in it, and I have angle again.
Oh, the Pro-Am event's next month, right?
Yeah, it's in October 28th.
Mhm.
I gotta get ready for it.
Yeah, so anyone watching it, if you're curious, that would be really fucking cool to watch. That's when you have some really good drivers. I mean, we're talking about Stacy, who's a great driver who did 8th place. So,
Well, qualified 8th. I got knocked out
say-
in the
whatever.
beginning.
Yeah,
I
that
thought you
counts.
qualified 6th.
No, it's
No, it's 8th.
Was it 8th?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
But yeah, so run it down the 22nd, shake it down, see what we can do different in this coming the last one of this season, I guess.
Which is October 28th. So
Mm-hmm. At Wild Horse.
Mhm.
there's
So it's
also
local.
there's 2 events also, by the way, before you can drive.
There's one on the 2nd and then
There's
or the
the
22nd and then
There's like one there's a Go Fast
October
event.
like 7th or I
Yeah,
don't
it's like
know.
one pretty close right after
Yeah.
it too.
We'll see. Hopefully we can get her out there and shake it down, see what she does, get my dad's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Definitely need to get his car fucking running,
Yeah, I definitely need to.
especially when it's something simple like AccuSump.
it helps if you don't drill
the
through your
Accu-
gas tank.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, luckily I can plastic weld, so.
Yeah, fuck yeah. JB Weld.
No, I'd like to do it. I'd like to give it another shot. Get my own car. I feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the hell out of that UZ. See if I can blow up another trans.
If you blow up a CD, there is a fucking problem.
There's no
Is that
hope.
what's in there now, a CD?
Yeah, you get CD 009 in there now.
And that comes out of what?
350Z.
Yeah, okay.
This one's out of a G35.
Same thing.
Same shit,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, Dylan's saying that I broke his car. I did break Dylan's car too. He let me take it to an event, and I blew the front main seal.
And I know for everyone watching, we've been kind of involved. But if you have any questions or if we didn't answer anything, just retype it and we'll get to it. We can't really scroll up on this, so
Yeah, we've been bullshitting a lot. Didn't really.
we were stuck in the story. I mean, it was cool to see like kind of what's going on.
We bounced around a little bit.
Yeah.
But
So what's next? I guess
That's
for
us. We didn't stay very focused. Ooh,
well, I mean,
shiny
it's an
thing.
open conversation, right? So it's like it's not like we had an idea. But as far as like you guys, so what's the next move or what's the next thought for Bad Apples overall then? So maybe Pro-Am next year for Stacy. As far as like we have a lot of local drifters who have programs, quote unquote, whatever that means. Sometimes they're really serious, sometimes they're not. What's kind of the future of Bad Apples, or what are we expecting from you guys?
So we're still kind of waiting for that rich uncle that nobody knows about.
The lottery.
Yeah, something like that. We're all still buying tickets.
well, I think me and Dustin will for sure be running some Pro-Am events. I'd like to see Andres do some more.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the car a lot better set up now. Like that thing was unfucking drivable.
Yeah, I've heard
before.
there's been a lot of little
It
corner
was-
issues.
Dude, you were hitting the switches while you're driving that thing, trying to bounce it. Like,
It was it was rough. And then he put some coilovers on it, did some more tuning with the suspension, and that thing
Mhm.
is a night and fucking day difference.
Really?
Like how it drives. Like I was like, when I first drove it after he redid everything, I was like,
Mhm.
damn. So he should be getting more comfortable. I'd like to see him do it.
Need to get him a little more power.
Yeah, I'd like to see Darren do it, and probably my dad. I think we could come out with 4 or 5 drivers.
Well, yeah, it looks like someone, I think that's Jack, was asking if Tony plans to do Pro-Am.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it.
Does he know he's doing it yet?
Whether it's next year or not, he's for sure doing next
Should
year.
at least be next year, minimum. This year, definitely. I feel like the car is pretty close to being ready to go. I feel we're making excuses on not making that car run.
We got to plug everything in.
Plug it in.
But I think the main focus is just keeping drifting good for the community. For us, is doing everything that we can, whether it's helping people fix shit
Mm-hmm.
or get their diffs welded or whatever we can do to help, and then just keep helping with the events and keep it. I feel like this year has gone better than past years as far as smoothness of the event and
Mhm.
track time.
Definitely.
So I think those are our 2 main focuses, and getting everybody's car running, obviously.
Yeah,
Right.
Had to
But-
go through that at the beginning of the year.
Well, yeah. Your car, or I mean, Tony's car, and now your car, also his car. When that should happen.
We gotta get Jack's car going.
Mm-hmm.
It gets. It's almost like there's too many of us. You know.
Too many
But we
people,
got-
too many broken cars,
We have. Yeah, we're really good at breaking shit.
and fixing it. But
Okay. Yeah, with the shop going up and a lot of us, I don't know how you want to say it. They're just everything that was going on at the time. We got shop up, and then we're doing wiring, and we're doing this, and then of course my dually starts giving me problems, and yeah, so it's.
We
It
should
kinda
probably
got
stop taking on projects and get our cars working. Is what
Probably.
he's trying to say.
Maybe we should finish a project.
well, as far as the shop goes, what's your guys' plan? Is that more of like a personal thing, or are you guys doing stuff for people locally? What's kind of the thing going on there?
Honestly, right now, so much of our crap's broken. It's really hard to pull in more.
Right.
Um,
Well, I know
but-
you're the diff plug, literally. I mean, you did 2 of my or 3 of my diffs, and then everyone else, I need a diff welded. Tony Hall. Hit up Tony Hall. It's like, holy shit.
that
I feel bad. I feel bad. I know his phone's probably blowing the fuck.
It's fun.
I'm sitting there at work.
Yeah. Bing,
I kind
bing,
of.
bing,
I'm
bing,
not gonna
bing,
lie. I
bing.
kind of do it.
Yeah,
too.
just because.
On
And I'll-
purpose,
I'll do
yeah.
like 3 or 4 drops at least.
And I'm like, I don't
I'll
even
even
have that
screenshot
many
it.
friends. How in the hell do I have?
I'll even screenshot it and send it
They're
to him a
like,
couple times.
wow. There ain't this many people that like me. This is. Oh shit! One person needs a diff welded. Thanks, guys.
I thought I was popular. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I thought
Burst my bubble. But no, I mean, it's. I was doing it at first because Stacy got his welded, and it lasted for like 2 months, and it came apart.
What, and by the way, what makes that come apart or not? Like what?
Because
I
my
thought-
weld's cracked on mine.
Well, I thought literally you just go in there. Obviously, you do more, but I'm just saying, go in there, clean it for whatever, and then just fuck it. Actually, honestly, when I first thought of welding a diff, I literally thought, open the pumpkin, weld, close the pumpkin, send it.
Yeah, which
But
one
obviously,
easy?
it's not,
That's
right?
pretty much it.
I don't even remember who welded my
It has to
first
do
diff.
with like cleaning everything, right? Cleaning it adequately, and then what makes like a good welded diff versus like a not good welded diff either.
There's a
prep-
big
the prep-
debate on that. Like
It's the prep work, man.
a lot of people weld plates in there.
Oh,
and
really?
We
Does-
don't.
do you guys? Okay, so you guys don't.
It's
No plates.
it's a touchy subject. A lot of people feel strongly one way, and a lot of people feel
Well,
strongly
what
the
are
other
the two
way.
ways? What are the 2 ways?
One way you put a plate in there and basically take that plate and weld it to the spider gears, and that keeps the spider gears from turning, which is what locks your rear end.
Mm.
So I have seen plates break loose.
And go through a cover.
Like the actual plate, not the welds.
The plate itself came loose and shot right through a differential, right through the body of the vehicle, and went flying out.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they're
I'm like,
projectiles, man.
holy
I've
shit.
even seen some they come out, they go through the cover, and then in the gasing that's right in the back of these.
I was gonna
13s.
say, yeah, like mine's right there.
It can happen. I just feel real strongly that if I can just weld the spiders together, then basically you're not adding anything into the differential other than some welds. Now, granted, we do what we can to get it cleaned up, and then do what we can to keep the weld from going into the bearings and whatnot. So it's kind of crazy, and I know these guys, they've seen it a million times now. It's not a big deal, but you go in, we'll clean it, weld it, and then clean it again. And just get welding slag and stuff out. And I'll sit there with a magnet for 15, 20 minutes trying to get all the little loose pieces, everything out of it.
It looks like he's bored, he's just sitting there doing it.
Yeah.
Finger fucking
Yeah,
the shit out of it.
I was like, I don't know if I should say it, but
Yeah.
I got you.
thanks.
Yeah. But, and then, put some good fluid back in it, and make sure everything spins free. And I like to give them back to people, just like, dude, here, it's ready to go in your car. Throw it in, give her hell.
That's how it was from when you did mine. It still lasted it's been 2 years now, I think.
Mine is probably, the diff that's in my car is probably the most experimental one we have, and that's because I just kind of did what you said, stuck the welder in and just kind of. Because it was a limited slip, and I.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of a push it in there and pray thing.
Dad, move your drink. I can't see the fucking bottle. That's great.
Well, you make me sound like an alcoholic. It's a monster, folks.
With a you should show that case though for your well, it's not a monster, but what is that case?
Grizzly
This thing looks
cooler.
crazy as fuck.
This is when you know you have a fucking energy drink
Yeah, I was
problem.
gonna say,
Like-
but I kind of want one.
The fuckers are so
I
bad.
only have two. I only have 2 of these.
Where's that bag with that I have seen like 6 of those in there?
Yeah, you don't need to worry
okay,
about that.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm just as guilty, but fuck.
Yeah, there it is.
There's
I only got 8. Okay, I
there's
don't
al-
have 6.
There's only 4
Oh,
left.
he pulls out the water. Mm-hmm.
We bought water. We're not drinking it, but we did buy some.
It's vodka. Don't let him fool you.
On the next episode.
Oh hell yeah.
No, but we've had people hit us up and ask us like about cage work and stuff like that. And I don't think we're really ready to venture off into that.
It's going
aspect,
to
yeah.
require a lot of money.
Well, I think
Yeah.
personally, I think the biggest thing that a lot of people need is like the bash bars. Is that hard to make?
I
or
wouldn't be
fabricate?
opposed to making bash bars.
'Cause,
I
like,
would-
It'd just be
but-
nice if they brought the bumpers over and we could try to fit them into the bumpers.
Right. Yeah.
Make custom ones for that, so
That'd be
it holds the
cool.
bumpers up and
Yeah,
stuff.
we all say that, and we're all thinking in the back of our head, I think Darren can figure out how to get that done.
We're like, yeah, we can do that. Hey, Darren.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, wizard.
do the measurements.
Get that beard over here, boy.
No, doing a cage is
It's time consuming.
it's time consuming. It is a little.
Well,
Well, we kind of.
what makes a cage hard? Because a lot of people don't know.
Every
and then, until like I start
fucking
talking to welders,
aspect.
but like, yeah, but what?
It's
but
the
what?
pre-
Right?
at the
Because you just
prep
take some tubes, you just put them
bend 'em-
together, you
just
just
bend 'em
weld it,
over
right?
like your lawn chair or something, and
With your bare hands.
No, it's just trying to figure out your degrees and your angles, your
Where-
offset,
where,
all
where to start
everything.
the bend, where to end the bend.
Mhm.
One has to do like how close it is to the actual chassis, but if you're really close to the chassis, now it's hard to weld,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
it's
Okay.
hard to do everything when it's that close to the
Yeah,
chest.
sure.
Weld, paint, you know, even putting. That was a discussion we had on Stacy's the other night. We're like, hey, how in the hell are we gonna get padding around this? Oops. It's already welded in. We're committed, so
Yeah, shit.
Mm-hmm.
we'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
Only trim the padding around it, make it work.
yeah, well, maybe we'll just have to pad your helmet.
It's been fun. I mean, we don't really know what we're doing, honestly.
Right.
Like, we're just a bunch of guys that got a bender and a notcher and a welder, and now we're fucking around.
Well, we had a lot of fabrication shops, but we've also lost a lot of fabrication shops.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like we're kind of getting more into the, I don't want to say like a garage weld, but essentially it's not like a formal thing. It's like, hey, I need someone to fucking do this because no one else can do it. And the
Well,
shops that can are like, back order for years.
Well, I mean,
Literal
when you
years, by
do-
the way.
Yeah.
Literal years.
When we kind of started out on this venture, we were to.
I'm good, sir.
Y'all suck.
I wanted to figure out how to do it. I mean, it's kind of. I don't know, a challenge, shall we say?
It's a fucking understatement.
Yeah, I was going to say, fuck.
Challenge.
I don't want to know how to do it.
Dude, the cages were great.
And I really thought, oh man, I can wrap my head around this. I'll be able to do this, no problem. I'm too old to be crawling around inside of somebody's cage.
Yeah, you are 32. It's getting pretty high up there, dude.
Yeah, I think we're coming up on like the 12th anniversary of me being 22. There's a lot more math, a lot more little shit that's involved than I realized. But, I mean, hell, we got the tools. Let's do it. Let's try it. And Darren came over, and I realized shortly he had a better handle on it than I did, so I think I just kind of started playing games on my phone and let Darren do it. Let's be honest. But no, there was more to it, and I look at things, I guess, a little bit more as a safety aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a little bit of fear in me that if I build another cage for somebody else, what happens if they get in a wreck and get hurt?
Which is rare, but we did see one great example is I think
Yeah.
it's Cade.
Cade
When he flipped his fucking car. Are you kidding me?
when he
Yeah.
flipped
How
thing
the fuck?
Dude,
How did he do that? Because I didn't see it.
he
I just
ended up
heard.
The tire
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah, he
Clip the
backed
tires,
up.
man.
I didn't think that was fucking possible.
Well,
I mean,
but
we're all low boy drift boys, right?
doesn't
And then
matter.
he fucking flipped. I know, but I like,
Doesn't
damn.
matter.
I didn't even. That was never even a thought.
He backed-
Oh, flip a car? Are you high?
Well,
that
he
would never
backed-
happen.
Well, he ended up backing it in, and it caught the front corner of it.
Yeah.
And flipped onto
But
its
let's
lid.
face it,
Holy
if there was,
shit!
if you had to lay money at the beginning of the year that, okay, who's going to destroy their car this year? I'd put money on Stacy. And I'd
First-
also put money on Cade. I mean, let's
Really?
face it. Both of them, when they're out there driving, just let it hang out and
True.
do their thing. And it is a little bit nicer when you know you got a cage. And not that you have that no fear factor, but you have a cage, you know, if I really fuck up bad, I have a better chance of walking away.
Well, I do want to tell everyone that's watching, if you have a cage, your car will still get fucked if you hit a wall, because that's actually what my thought was, that I could just do whatever the fuck I needed because I had a cage, and then my frame rail and core
only-
support were fucked.
That only protects you. That doesn't protect.
I
the
know.
motor.
I didn't know that, bro. I thought the cage would make it indestructible, man. I had a bash bar. I was like, yo, fuck, I'll run anyone over. But
So,
wall fucked me up.
does anybody want to start a board on how long it takes Stacy to have a car wrapped around the cage?
2 months.
How long until the
Next month.
How long until the door's
2
wrapped
months.
around it?
Next month.
How long until the door's wrapped around that cage?
Well, they're kind of wrapped around it now, but
I'm
kind of thinking.
gonna go with vent. No, he'll
All
be,
it's gonna
he'll be
take-
good.
I love you
Somebody
all.
out there
Thanks.
to walk up and say, "You're not a man if you don't."
Oh, shit.
Magic words.
That wall, the car's going to be on the grandstands at that point. Like, what the fuck did he even get that up there? Holy
You're not a man
shit.
unless you hit the third set of tires in on the tire wall. Watch this.
Hold my beer.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Oh.
What'd that say? When am I gonna get my? Oh, don't even bring up the SR.
All right. Well,
You have an SR? I mean, of course, I'm sure you do. But
Yeah.
Signal really is bringing up when is Stacy gonna bring his SR?
You have a
shit, at
UZ
least.
right now, though,
I
right?
think-
Yeah, I got a
think
fully built
Dylan
SR.
still dreams about the SR. You know.
Yeah, he's a little
He misses
regretful.
his SR.
Wait, how much power did his SR do on the dyno, though, before it blew up?
700
Whose?
horsepower
Dylan.
For a second.
for about 10 seconds.
3 something?
No.
No,
I
when
want
it
to-
No,
blew
no,
up.
no. It blew
He's talking
up,
about when
right?
it spiked boost and made 700 horsepower for about 10 seconds and blew up.
You didn't know that?
The
You
dyno
didn't
graph
know?
was good.
I might have forgot that
Oh,
one.
shit.
Dyno graph was like this. No.
So the SR is capable of making 700. It just might blow up.
10 seconds, but
I'm scared of
yeah.
mine, to be honest with you.
It's a UZ, right? It's fine.
No, my SR.
Oh.
So I've got a fully built SR. It's been built like 4 times.
Where is it?
It's in
I
the
haven't
garage.
seen it.
oh, my bad. It was 660 for 30 seconds. He says.
Hey,
Ooh.
we have one viewer at least.
That's the count right there up at the top
The
left.
16. I think it says.
But that motor my dad was talking about when he went on a cruise, that's the SR.
Oh, okay. Where is it? So,
So,
it's just in the garage? In the front
Little
garage?
story on that piece of shit. I drove the hell out of that for a while, and then I blew it up, and I decided to get it fully built. I'm not gonna name drop, but I got it built, and
By a company or person.
by
And they didn't quite.
I mean,
do
you
what
can-
they
you
were
can say it, I
supposed to
just-
do.
no, I'm
personally
not
don't
here
think
to
it's worth
name
it, yeah.
names or
Yeah.
say it's somebody's fault.
Sure.
Engines are engines, you know. But I made 3 laps at Tucson and it blew up.
Right.
So
But what
this
actually
is
blew
after
up?
I got it fully built and it blew up. Okay,
Like piston rods,
Everything.
bearings,
everything.
What do you mean?
No
Shot
shit.
a rod
Everything.
outside
and it
or
blew.
what?
It blew up.
Mhm.
Well, we.
it
they-
basically grenaded every bearing in
What
that
was the
thing.
issue?
The oiling probably.
It wasn't.
There's
really
too many to name.
Rebuilt.
Really?
Anyways,
So
we'll-
not a
so
great-
we got that out of the way.
Not a great company.
we'll,
Hit up Stacy if you need your SR rebuilt, and he'll tell you where not to go.
so I got it built.
Or your KA. We can do that too.
So I
We can wreck just about anything.
what the hell happened?
I just turned off. I guess.
So I got it built again. I decided to sell the Power FC, and I went with an AEM Infinity. And I got it in the car. We got it on the dyno, and it was smoking so bad that you couldn't read AFRs. It was throwing it all over the place, so we called it quits. It needed.
That was after he almost started the entire dyno building on fire.
Yeah, shooting big old flame balls out the exhaust.
Oh boy.
So, we decided to take it off the dyno and look into it. All the compression and everything looked good, so kind of wondering what it was, and then found out it was the valve stem seals. So I got the valve stem seals in, and that's where it's sat. And then I got the UZ, and I'd love to have the SR. I got everything I need to get it going. I'm just scared of it.
They ended up breaking a head bolt in a few times.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just a lot of money in that motor, and I don't know. I got the V8 in, and I like having the torque and not waiting for that fucking turbo to spool up. And when I push the pedal, it goes, and all I got to do is change the oil.
Which you don't do.
Yeah, I was gonna
dude,
say
that
I've heard a couple of stories.
That UZ's been through hell. Like, we were in Tucson, and it was hot out, and
The one time you rode at 260 for
yeah,
laps.
and I looked down.
Holy shit!
I looked down, and the temperature gauge is spiked, and I just kept running, and then eventually I got sick of looking at it, and I unplugged the temperature gauge, threw it in the back, and we just kept going.
Oh no!
So basically, it was at like 260 plus
Yeah.
for however long he drove.
Wow.
That thing takes a beating, but
Good
I don't know.
old
Yeah,
UZ.
I'm just scared of the SR, and I don't want to blow it up again. There's a lot of money in it. I'll probably get it going eventually. I'd like to put that motor in my coupe
Mm-hmm.
when I get the coupe built, and run that in Pro-Am, because that
That'd be
motor
cool.
should be in that 450, 500 range on
Okay.
the 85.
which is a good power range.
T85 or E54?
E85.
54.
T85.
Yeah, because you can't buy 85 anymore unless it's through
The
T.
pump's
Torque
54.
go.
Yeah, you get
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
what T-
T85.
Well, they
It's
call
called
it
T85.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I get you. Yeah.
It's a big deal, apparently, just so you know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know,
You
and I
own it-
was
if
told.
if you own an Evo, it's a big deal.
Everybody else doesn't give a shit.
It's a T85, thanks.
But I don't know. I'm falling in love with the V8.
Yeah.
Evo
You know.
owners.
Gabe.
Yeah, because, when this all started, I will never go V8. Coupes are gay.
Yeah, V8s are for faggots.
I hate
I remember that conversation. V8s are for fags. Look where he's at now.
Yeah.
V8 or die.
So he's a fag.
And
It's
also-
not really a V8. It's just a 4.0.
Still got
It's
8
not
cylinders.
But I like it.
It could be a 3-liter V8. And
Motor
you still
takes
got
a beating.
It has
Doesn't
been,
have to, but
It picks up what I put down.
depends on the driver behind it. Is fucking beating the shit out of it.
Well, now if he doesn't break the transmission, we'll just see what else is weak.
A big if. Big if.
Smash your funny bone?
It's not very funny.
No, not at all. So,
Yeah, if anyone in the chat, though, has any questions, definitely ask them away here. It is very few and far between that we actually have our Bad Apple founders in the building or on social media, I feel like sometimes. So,
father-son duo.
yeah. It's kind of cool, though. I mean, that's cool. Like, that's really, I feel like a lot of other programs have that. Like, that's what makes those unique is, like, it's a family. Like you guys were saying, it's not a team, it's a family. We just say team because it makes more sense for motorsports, but
Yeah.
overall, it's like, that's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah,
It's super
well,
fucking cool.
I
Yeah.
didn't really want to put like Bad Apple Family on the side of the you put that on the trailer and then you got to start putting little helmets.
Yeah,
and shit in the back. Stick
Little
figures.
hearts and shit like that.
Yeah, and then somebody gets pissed off and we got to start scratching them out. And
No, but a big shout out to Jack Lucas. He does all of our social media stuff.
Okay, so
And
you guys don't manage it. That's actually Jack.
That's all
in the
Jack.
back in the
Facebook is
scenes.
Jack. All the Twitter's Jack. Instagram's Jack. That guy.
we're on Twitter.
Sometimes.
We do have a Twitter.
Sometimes.
It's somewhere out there
Is
in the
that you,
internet.
God?
Are
Oh,
you
God.
my conscience?
It's
No.
true though. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jack's the
there's-
man. That
yeah.
guy, like I said, everybody brings something to the table, and we never asked him to do it. We never brought it up. He just took it and went with it, and he talks to companies for us and
Mhm.
everything like that, and he's damn good at it. And so I'm super thankful for that, Jack. Thank you.
Yes, because I can barely turn my phone on. So
And I can't type for shit.
Instead of R, you're just typing a fucking R. Yeah, you're one of those people.
Yeah, my
maybe we
typing
can get
stuff.
Brian to do it. Brian can do that talk to text. That seems like it always screws up on him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's turned to pot.
Counterclockwise.
Which way do you guys stir the pot?
Counterclockwise. The answer is counterclockwise.
Figure 8. You got to get all
Figure eight,
aspects of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good
all.
point.
Get it all.
Which way do you stir the pot? Usually with a blender, so it doesn't really, Cuisinart.
Automatic shit.
Yeah, blow it against the walls. It's good to go.
No, but I'd really like to know what everybody else thinks of the events this year. I would like to, and I try to ask people. I'd rather, but when you ask them in person, sometimes they don't
It's
give you
hard.
a 100% honest
Sure.
answer. Like I want to know what they think about how the events have gone this year, what they think should be changed. Obviously, everybody wants other tracks.
Well,
That's a big goal.
Nebula Films also a good question for you, actually. Not sure if it was brought up earlier, but does Stacy plan on trying to make Pro 2 or FD in the future? That's a great question. It's a great question.
I've never really thought about it. I mean, it's always a dream to go that far. I'd love to go that far. My pockets won't let me go that far.
Sure.
The way my bank account is wired.
Yeah, see the way my bank account's set up. No, I'd love to. I'd like to get a good grip on Pro-Am. I think, so like if in the future, like I ran Pro-Am, I did the full season, I think I would like to run like almost 3 full seasons in Pro-Am before jumping up and getting a full grip on it rather than just doing a year, getting my license, and then jumping up right away.
Sure.
Just,
Sometimes you got to challenge yourself. Otherwise, you're going to end up old.
Speaking from experience.
But I'd like to get, I'd like to get that time to perfect it and then move up. But it's hard, it's not cheap.
Just send it, you pussy.
From your dad, send it, pussy.
And I think I'd have to have like somebody who can do all of my promoting and reaching out to companies because I am a very, very shy person.
Which is crazy compared to your driving style, by the way. It's literally polar opposite.
He's not shy when he's banging on your door.
Banging on doors, walls, people. It doesn't
he's-
fucking matter.
I mean, he
Tennis
might-
balls.
He might be on your hood.
Fuck
but
yeah.
But yeah, I'm really shy. So I think that's been a struggle with me trying to move forward and talk to companies. I think that's where I lack a lot. I'd have to have somebody help me out there.
Well, and I think the biggest thing, too, is the biggest thing overall that I've talked to a lot of drivers about is really getting the money. So we have this conversation. It's a very easy conversation to generalize, right? But like the easy answers are car brakes, tires. That's it, right? But now we're talking about you're taking so much time off work and all this traveling and shit like that. You now almost need to like essentially quit your job.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where a lot of people that are successful or at least active in it are actually having like their own program, like more like their own company or whatever revenue source, whatever that might be. It's not like they're tied to a company that they have to work for because you just physically don't have enough time. Like I'm just saying though, like overall, that's a big hurdle, right? Because because right now you work, and if you wanted to do that, you would have to fucking figure out the financials. And of course, like, if, Tony might be able to help, but you're essentially now, like you said, dealing with your 2 kids and your girlfriend and shit like that. And now how I'm going to support that with the house. Like, I can't just fucking quit my job, right?
Yep.
So that seems like a bigger hurdle than really people put in perspective, in my opinion.
Definitely.
When is Dustin going big turbo? Horsepower goals.
Why is it all in caps? Is that Greg?
That is Greg.
Greg, why do you type in caps?
I'm just happy he fucking
I feel
spelled
like he's
everything
yelling.
correctly.
I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like you're yelling.
I'm not gonna lie.
Dustin going big horsepower?
I'm so glad.
What is going on?
I'm super glad, Greg, that you got an A+ in spelling.
Good job, Greg. Shout out to Greg for spelling.
Yeah, so Dustin, when are you gonna...
I want to get my GTX 35 and just want to go.
So why don't you have it?
500.
It's hard going up, man. It's hard throwing a bunch of power on there because then you're gonna start breaking other shit.
Yeah, that's
true.
Kind of
Like my
reliable.
UZ is completely stock and just takes the whatever I give on it.
Well, that's how my JZ is.
Uh-huh.
It's a slight tune. I just love it. But I'm like, if I do 550, 600 or something like that, I'm gonna start blowing axles every day, diffs every day or
Friends,
something.
my friends.
Well, at least my transmission will hold 800 horsepower.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
Shade 45.
So yeah,
Well, so what's holding you back for high horsepower then?
it's just pretty much
Money?
money, dude.
Turbo?
With being the job.
What's next? Just the turbo then,
I
right?
just needed the turbo manifold.
Those are cheap.
Yeah,
I
I
know,
mean,
it's-
comparatively to like
Oh,
everything
I mean,
else.
you get a
like,
good, you can get a good manifold for what, like 30, 40 bucks?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
what? Really?
Sarcastic.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck?
Peace,
Yo,
peace, peace,
where
peace.
are you getting your manifolds? Hook me up, dude. I'll start selling those
Shit.
on the side.
Oh, we got a pipe bender. We'll make that shit out of DOM.
Hell yeah, there we go. All right.
I mean, realistically, I
Be
can
like
make, I get
900 pounds.
I think realistically, like manifolds, like $1,200 plus the turbo is probably another $1,000. So
Where did you buy the manifold from? It's
there's
like
there's a lot of companies out there, man. There's
Really?
so many.
I mean, well,
You
you
wanna
got
go-
Future Fab.
got
and
local
you got
Future
guys
Fab.
here locally that make
Future Fab, them guys are fucking crazy, man. They can
John-
they can make some crazy shit.
the problem
Sounds
is they're
crazy.
back ordered for years, man. Literal
Big props
years.
to those guys, man.
Yeah,
I've seen
their
their work.
welds are amazing, but damn, I'm gonna have to wait. Hey, put my order in. I'll see it next year, maybe.
We'll get it now, so that
I
way
know you're right. I'm just saying.
by the
like,
time
damn.
you wreck again and gotta fix your car, your
I've
manifolds will
only
be
wrecked
ready.
what is this? My third time now.
Ooh,
Shit, I could do that in a night.
Yeah, except your car would still be running, no problem. That's the difference, dude.
They have
Running,
big
but not
transit.
driving.
Maybe.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have everyone running in this room on this table driving, because everyone at this table should be driving.
Yeah.
His is close. Get his done.
His is
You're gonna-
close. His is more close than his.
Mhm.
His doesn't even have an engine or a trans in it. His has all that shit ready to go. You just got to fucking plug and play some sockets.
I'm old. I forgot where all the wires go.
Well, I'm
I'm
young
missing
and I-
that one bolt.
Someone just needs to do it for you. Just say,
Fucking
fuck
10
it.
millimeter.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm going to do it next year. Maybe the near
Get the
after.
dually done.
As long as that motor sits, it's gonna sit there and collect dust. and
Yeah,
not
it's
ever
gonna
get
be
beat on.
it's gonna be a relic. We'll put it in a museum in a couple of years. Oh, this was Tony Hall's first car. They never finished.
I am excited though
Like,
to
like,
have
like I'm gonna be famous or some shit.
Oh, you will.
like a decent setup. I think every car I've had has been a boogered Frankenstein slapped together. Half the shit doesn't really work the way it's supposed to,
Still slanging it though.
and like I've never really truly had like a full setup. I think I've never really even
You,
set
you
my.
probably could have, but you have absolutely no fucking patience whatsoever.
Damn.
You know, just like
True
I'm
statement.
going out on the 22nd and I don't give a flying
Yeah,
shit
but
if it's painted or
One
if it's
person,
ready. I'm driving.
you will be driving before he will be driving. So I would say get the fuck out there rather than sitting on your car for a couple months last year. Or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
No one specifically in this room, but
Tony.
I mean, Dawson, switched to the chassis in a month.
2, 3.
Was it? I feel like
It was like
pretty
3,
quick.
it was 3 when it was painted.
Mm.
So close enough.
That was all pretty cool too, though.
So
I mean,
if
his
you go to
car is-
Amazon, type in whip, buy one, and then whip your dad with that shit. Literally.
Well, why not? I mean, everybody was chasing me around with a fucking dog collar.
That shit was
Oh yeah, I got a hold
The
of the
shot
shot
collar.
collar last night.
Someone tried to hit me with a shot collar, and I felt this warm feeling. I was like, "What the? Oh shit!"
In case you guys didn't know, last night I got drunk and took the shot collar off the dog and took the remote from my mom and was chasing people around.
Hell yeah. Yo, who made those Jello shots?
My
Was that
mom.
Chris?
That was Chris.
Shout out to Chris. Those Jello shots were good. I was like, I could probably take at least 10, but then I don't know if I'd physically be able to take 10.
I think there's one in the refrigerator.
Really? There was like a big
There was a
stack.
grip. There was a grip of them. I mean, he was
Holy
walking. He was
shit.
walking around with a shirt full of them. Like, I need everybody to take
Yeah,
one.
he's the fucking candy man.
Yeah,
like, here you go, boys.
He's like, I'm about to pass out, so I want you guys to catch up.
Yeah, and those things were sneaky, man.
Yeah, dude, I know. Every time, man. We make them with Everclear, so yeah.
Good
Those
night.
ones will sneak up on you pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
I've
I'm
been there.
not touching those.
Oh, you will.
That will grow hair between your toenails.
Yo, it will.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The girls are losing their shit over there.
We refer to them as the control room.
The
This
control
sounds
room is
super
losing-
the control room is losing their shit.
They can
That's
not
them?
hold it.
I thought that was God.
Well,
No, it's your
both.
conscience. It's
Well,
your
I'm glad they
conscience,
didn't
Tony.
tell me to do anything. Conscience? What the fuck is that?
I was
I
talking
don't know. I
shit to
just
you.
work here, dude.
I think when your car got wrecked, that kind of it was another time where it was like it was cool to see everybody on the team jump together. It was like, oh shit, well he's gonna, oh man, how are we gonna do all this? And it's like, I don't know how we're gonna do it. Let's just do it. We got to start.
Shout out, Greg.
Yeah, I really appreciate Greg actually giving me a show with a title to get this car done.
No.
That was crazy. I mean,
You know, and it was really nice of him to leave all of those parts when he went to Denver. You know, we got basically another coupe out there.
And we got
you
a
know,
Beamer.
If you guys need anything,
Yeah,
There's a Beamer out there.
Yeah.
Don't
anybody want
forget.
to whip a 5 Series Beamer next event? I'm thinking about taking it out. Might overheat a few times, but it'd be
Yeah,
fine.
fuck it. It's a Beamer shit.
Yeah, should we fix
It doesn't
the water,
overheat
should we
if you
fix
take
the
the
water
temp
pump
gauge
or
out
just
of it.
send it?
Right.
Send it, bro. Just fucking send it.
Send it.
You know, like that's one thing that gets me super annoyed now is like transitioning honestly from like a spectator to media to now like a bad driver, right? So like just to be honest, so like all these fucking people are like, oh bro, your oil print, your pan is cracked, dude, just fucking send it, dude. It's like, dude, would you send it? Would you? Oh no, you wouldn't. All right, bro.
Would
Come on,
Stacy send it?
man. Definitely.
Well,
Well,
he did. He did.
Well, I'd silicone that fucker shut first.
oh, JB Weld that shit. I like that.
Austin, shut up all your JB.
Dude, I'd be on the
Shout out to JB Weld.
I'd be on the track with a stick of gum, put it over the track.
Some bubble yum, dude. Fuck yes.
I do have to say, when he tried to monster truck Justin and
That's why-
smashed the shit out of the car,
That's why I said he will.
he
Instead of
came
banging
up
doors,
and it's like,
Do we have that on video, by the way?
There
Can
was a
people, like, search it
Snapchat
for it?
video that was like
Dude, it
it's
was
super
pretty weak.
blurry, but
We
that
need
was
to
it.
seriously get more video in general of like you driving, like Dustin driving, like just to have it out there.
I've always so
Because we have these like these conversations, but yeah, I know. But then like everyone's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what exactly happened? Like, oh fuck, like that should happen."
The thing is I get to the event and I want to drive and I'm like, fuck them GoPros, I'm not putting them on.
Dude, right?
It's time to go.
Right. Let's just drive. Fuck the yeah, exactly.
go.
this
for
thing won't
days.
stick. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like,
Remember that one time when we were doing media and I was like, "Oh, I got your car. I put it on your car." And you're like, "Yeah, dude, I don't know what happened. It just fell off." Like before you even left, I was like, "Fuck, dude." That scared the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah, I'm rough on cameras.
You didn't even do anything. It was just sitting on the pit. It was
You're
just
rough
sitting
on
there.
anything, Stacey.
Yeah,
what are you
true.
talking about?
we have a saying at work and about linemen in general that they could break an anvil with a rubber hammer,
I'd break an anvil with a
My
fucking
boy.
toothpick.
break it with a fucking straw.
I brew up.
Unfortunately, well, he's our. You know, if there's any companies out there that need a live test of test driving.
If you're trying to
dummy,
test durability, give me a shout out.
How have you not become a stunt driver at this point? Right? I mean, damn.
That'd be
If I were
cool.
to choose your career from you were 6 on that snowmobile,
Doing
stunt driver.
Dude, you know what? When I was 6 years old, I wanted to be a meteorologist.
Hell
I wanted to chase
yeah.
tornadoes, man.
Fuck yeah.
There's something
that sounds
about,
about right.
thunderstorms and shit that gets me going.
Being in the air in your car, fucking watching cows fly by. Fuck yes.
You know the
dude.
weird part too is when we're bringing it back to Stacey banging doors. He will bang your hood too.
Yep.
Who knows about that?
Let's ask Justin Anger about that whole situation.
Yo, Justin, if you're watching, shout out to your hood.
I'm sorry about your car, man.
I'll never forget that day when I was sitting at the line. I saw the bottom of Stacey's car and I was like, "Oh, they're good."
I was
Wait, so what happened? You got to explain what happened then to everyone.
dude, that whole so that was like the first event where I actually like started getting proximity.
How long ago was that? Like a year?
AK not giving a fuck.
2 years ago.
2 years?
Two,
Okay.
3,
Shit.
maybe 3 years ago. No, it's 2. It was 2.
Okay.
It was 2 years ago at IFO, and I started getting like real close, and I got that bug of like proximity.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it's just something about Justin. Our driving styles line up so good together that it was like really easy to chase.
He's
and
the one with the
follow.
Band-Aid on his car right now, right?
No,
Or am I thinking of someone else?
No, that was Dave.
It was the
Crouch.
green one. Or Jesus, that's mine. Gray. I meant gray. He had the gray one with the blue wheels.
Okay.
Oh my
The
God.
whole event we were just like almost hitting doors like the whole time, and I got behind him. It was getting later in the night, so I was getting more brave. And first corner, I just drove in too hard. Like I should have been more towards his rear wheel, and I kind of initiated. I was up by his front.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he had his wheel turned and my wheel turned, so my lead tire hit his chase tire, and when it did, it just walked right up the side of his car.
And it was
I
like
just went up.
it was
Holy
like
shit.
back 2 wheels were on the ground barely, and he was in the air. It
There's
was
no
crazy.
video of that? Or
Mm.
damn.
There was a Snapchat.
There was a
video, wasn't
Snapchat
I
video
know,
from a
but it-
shitty angle, and it was super fuzzy. And
But
you-
in the
course it's
car,
deleted
like,
anyway.
like in the car, did not like Outside did not make any justice. In that car, I know what it was like. It was like, ah.
It was like I looked at Jack, and Jack gave me that look of, we're in the air, Stacy. What the fuck?
Mission control, we're coming down.
Houston,
we have a problem. No, dude. Then the car, so it went up, and then we came back down on the ground, and it just fucking exploded everything. It like took my wheel and just like pancaked
Really?
it. I was like driving back to the pits like this, and it blew all the lines out from underneath the car. Like
Damn.
the power steering line just like grenaded and
Oil pan.
And I was trying to get a different wheel on it and get back out there, but I had no power steering. I had shit dragging everywhere, and the
Right.
tire was like sitting in the back of the fender. I was like, oh well, I guess I'm gonna put on a goddamn trailer. Damn.
Andres, is your car still running?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how the fuck I get out there, bro?
Yeah, Jack's looking through my window at the ground, looking through his window at the blue sky.
Shit.
No, that
where are we? What the fuck?
It felt a lot worse in car than like when we saw that
Oh, yeah, I'm
Snapchat.
sure.
You look at the Snapchat, but it was like so fuzzy and stuff, like you couldn't really see, kind of
Like,
tell.
it was cool
Mhm.
still, but then it was like not.
That's how I feel
Not
like
what you
with
felt
drifting, though. You're like, yo, I'm fucking going sideways. And you look at like the spectator view, you're like, fuck.
You're like,
what am I
"Damn,
even
dude,
doing?
I'm almost tapping that wall, and then you
Yeah.
look at it, and
You're like 5 feet away from me.
You're like, fucking the Golden Gate Bridge to
No
fill this
shit.
gap.
You're like, damn, that angle's sick. And you're like, oh, never mind. I was fucking road coursing that shit. My bad.
Yeah, you hit
Yep.
the corner and you hear the tires squeal, and you're like, yeah.
I'm fucking
get
getting
me
it,
some.
bro.
And you get the picture, and it's like,
What angle?
what the fuck was they doing there? Did they?
I think my
was I
truck could
parked?
get.
What?
I think my truck gets more sideways than that.
No shit.
Sometimes.
Oh, no, and then I've turned into if you need to know how to drive your KA, I seem to get thrown in people's cars now.
I mean, it is like, I will say it is valuable to have someone that knows how to drive, and especially that's adaptable to drive your car, because then you're like, oh fuck, okay, I am driving like a pussy. You know what I mean? Because then you really know it's like, oh shit, that's an angle. Oh my goodness, it looks like you're about to. Oh, that's angle. My bad. I didn't know. You know what I mean?
It's definitely good to start out in a low horsepower car for anyone who's just starting out.
Low horsepower car, no angle.
Mhm.
Ride it.
That seems to be the big thing that I've heard too. And speaking freely on that is, I feel, and from what I've heard, is like having a high horsepower helps you compensate for those problems, right? So if you have a low horsepower car, you got to be really tight with what you're actually doing. The biggest thing that we've talked about on this podcast, again, in my opinion, is the lines, which I didn't know. And once I understood the lines, the actual track was way
Dude,
easier.
to this day, I still don't understand lines.
I mean, you have lines though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you might not think about it, but you are taking those lines that most people aren't
See,
focused
the
on.
lines I know about is a shallow line and a slanging line.
See, like when I chase somebody, I'm not even looking at the track.
No, I just
I'm
want
like
I'm just
watching
looking
their
at
car,
car.
pretty much.
But that helps though, right? You're seeing their
Yeah,
lines.
because if you
creating
take it
for
real
you.
wide, you can sling him into a light plant or whatever.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
see, I'm the guy that's in front that throws them into the wall or something. I go slanging into the wall and I'm like, ah, wall.
I think the only time I didn't follow a line was when I passed Justin, like mid-drift.
That was funny. I remember that one. He went too wide and you're like, nah, I'm good. No.
Well, and I think, like, just a random thought too, I think it's hard as far as, like, so you and Dustin have obviously been in Pro-Am, but you guys don't ever have that experiences because no one else drives, like, as far as that level of competition, no one has that, like, mindset. So it's really hard to follow or drive with people who have, like, a consistent line, or maybe that are, like, fucking wild. They have to compensate. I feel like it's really hard. And those people that do never really drive because
Well,
they're just,
you're-
like, veterans as fuck.
And also in a competition setting, you know, you're trying to beat that other guy. That other guy's trying to beat you. He fucks with you a little bit and throws you off.
Great point, yeah. It's not
know,
like, yo, come
we're-
to my fucking door. It's like, yo, fuck off. I hope you spin,
you
dude.
don't see him reaching out, slamming his door like, bang it, bitch.
There
Yeah.
are some drivers that are like that just want to go out there and sling it and run with guys. But you do have people that'll screw with you.
Mm-hmm.
And
We see
when
that
that
FD all the time.
happens, it's like, you know, what the hell is he doing? And, you know, you straighten out, you're done. You're gone. And it's like, it kind of sucks, but realistically, I mean, if you're running Pro-Am and you're trying to get your license, you'll do whatever it takes. So
No
out
straightening out.
out there running on a Saturday night with your buddies, I mean, yeah, you're trying to touch everybody's door and fuck up their shit, but nobody's really screwing with you back.
The competition with buddies was fun. Like when Go Fast did that top 16
We need
thing.
to do
That
another
was
one.
fun.
Let's do another
What
one.
was that
great.
Easter Drift though?
No, it was a Boost Fest.
Yeah, it was
Boost- yeah.
Boost Fest
Oh, that's
thing,
right.
yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
It was definitely a fun time, I will say.
Yeah.
I didn't get to drive it, but just like helping out.
Yeah,
so
that was a
pretty
lot of
cool.
fun. That was fun.
Oh.
And I think like that's where the just kind of going more like meta over everything is like that's where we've seen like a weird thing like the very consistent argument is like grassroots versus like pro am or like FD and being more commercial, and people that are watching I'm sure know that I've had a very good stance saying at the end of the day the commercial aspect is important for the scene in general because we're bringing that to a forefront. Yes, there's a lot of people that will disagree with how FD runs these things, but at the end of the day, them bringing exposure to the sport in general pushes it to most of the population. And then when we see like fucking, Coca-Cola, Pepsi and shit sponsoring that shit, that means that you don't have to fight for these sponsorships and really like beg for it. You can just be like, yo, I'm a good driver. What's up? My dick's pretty big. Someone sponsor me, right? And then eventually they're like, oh shit, his dick is fucking big. Here's some money, right? But right now the problem. I mean,
that how that works?
I can't speak for
There
either
is-
one of you about
there
your
are
dick
no
size.
sponsor for small dicks.
But
I'm about to start driving and crotchless chaps.
yeah, there you go. But I'm just saying, right?
You're not gonna get anything if you do that.
But right now, you have to really, like, genuinely, like, to bring it back, you really do have to fight for the sponsors. You have to really, essentially have a PowerPoint presentation say, this is why I will bring visibility to your brand. This is how I'll help your brand. This is why me driving will be good for your brand. What do you think? And even then, it's like, well, the viewer count on FD is only this. And so when people say, like, there's the Troll FD group on Facebook and a couple,
from the derp.
yeah, Formula Derp. And it's funny. Like, it genuinely is funny, but at the same time, it's kind of shitty because we should be promoting our own sport, because if we want our homies, and especially like you two, who are very good drivers, to be anything more than just like, local slangers, that's going to be what needs to happen. We need bigger companies to actually give a shit and actually want to put money into it. And I think that's where a lot of people fall short, too. They're like, oh, well, grassroots this. I get that. But at the same time, the people who do want to compete, we should still support that and push, for it. Yeah, maybe this was shit, but doesn't mean we should shit on them for eternity,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And definitely debatable with everyone at the table and as well as chat, whatever you guys think. But I just think that maybe we should take a step back and just promote everyone. And until we get into think about it would be crazy, right? If fucking FD was as big as football. You have literally seasons pulled out. You have fantasy teams all set up or whatever that means.
Yeah.
You have people fucking learning.
Yeah,
They
that
know
way when
more
peop-
about you than your fucking dad does. They're like, well, Stacy, so his birthday was this weekend. His
blood type is O positive?
He stepped on a rock.
His
Maybe
right foot.
sprained ankle. We don't know.
His
We're
right
gonna
foot
hedge
seems
our
a little
bets
weak.
on so and so, but maybe we'll see. He's in recovery. He's taking pain medicine.
He sits down to pee.
Yeah. But it's like we'll see. We'll definitely see what he's doing. He's looking good this season, but the ankle we're just not sure. We are just positively not sure. But Stacy, we want him to see, but we'll see. I mean, probably our bets on this person. Like, what the fuck is this?
Dude, that'd be so
that'd be
weird.
crazy.
That would be so weird. Man.
Even-
you go on
even-
Facebook, there's like a whole thread
Yeah,
about that.
and it's
gotta-
like, yo, what
you
the
gotta-
hell? People are
you gotta
talking
look
about
at
my
it this
fucking
way, though.
ankle. Like, holy
Somebody
shit.
takes a knee out there at drifting. You
Oh,
can
God.
just run them the fuck over.
He's gonna get us in trouble.
Damn.
But I mean, you're right. There's no eyes on it, right?
I think what would be really fun out here, I don't know if it'd ever be possible, but to have just a local series.
Fuck yes.
Just a Go Fast
Fuck yes.
series. Like, it doesn't have to be for money or whatever. Maybe you could throw like a little prize in there or whatever. Maybe charge like an entry fee to run the comp. And then like
my personal opinion.
have
though,
like
is
a season.
It doesn't have to be a specific company.
No.
That's all I'm saying. So as far like that can happen, it can be. There's a lot of companies that are pushing for that. There's a lot of shit that can happen, but having that kind of shit would be dope as fuck.
Yeah, not like a pro-am run deal or like you get a license or whatever. Just like
Right.
just a local fuck around.
Fuck
comp.
yeah.
Do
Dude,
like,
like-
5 races or
Hell
something
yeah.
like that.
Well, like the cool thing was like the Easter Drift, like again 2 years ago. Like that was cool because it was like a competition. Yo, who the fucking hit all these rabbits? And then I see your ass somehow has a rabbit in between your fucking what was a side mirror. It was just chilling. You literally pulled it off the string.
Between the window and the door.
Came
I
through
was
the
like,
window.
I was like, fuck. Holy shit. Like, I mean, he was pretty close then, right?
That's why that top
was
16
fun.
thing that they did was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
especially when they put me against my dad at first.
That was fun.
Well, and it was cool too. Like, I mean, like, honestly, like, and again, me just being honest, like, that was cool because you guys, like, that was an event that personally was like, had me as a spectator, I was involved with. Cause
That was my first event in
No
the
shit.
UZ.
oh my
It
gosh,
was the
yeah,
same-
because
it was
like,
the same event I had my first time.
because
with
what was
JZ,
cool
too.
is like having all the drivers line up, like standing next to their car, like shouting out, and they're winning prizes, and we're like, yo, fuck yeah! And then at the end, you guys went fucking wild. Everyone's just doing it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on as a spectator? And I was like, damn, this shit is crazy, dude. Like, I got Stacy on the wall, fucking doing a second, third, burnout. I got these fucking. I remember literally. I still to this day remember Kenny. Kenny with his fucking stupid ass snowboard as a spoiler. I'm like, yo, that car has a fucking snowboard for a spoiler, and I remember him like getting wild, and that was cool because it was like crazy as fuck. Because that's what drifting is, especially if you're in the car. It's like, yo, this isn't just like, oh yeah, it looks like cool, it's very easy. It's like, yo, this shit is wild. This shit is wild, and if you're not in the car, you don't understand what proximity looks like. Like FD, we watch it and we're like, oh yeah, he didn't have enough proximity.
He's like 3 feet away.
Yeah,
That
and then
was
it's like
gay.
if you're in the car, you're like, oh fuck, stop. You're way too close, dude. Fucking back up. You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna scratch
right?
his nose for him. I'm so close, dude.
Yeah.
I think what they need to do
Exactly.
is take the guys that are doing the announcing and make them ride shotgun.
That would be crazy.
In-car announcers.
That would-
Yo, that
yo.
would be fucking. That is a good idea.
Holy shit,
dude.
we're on the side of his door right now,
Yo,
guys.
Formula Drift, if you're listening, we just have a breaking idea. I just want you to know, put him in the fucking car. But seriously,
We never passed
but
safety
seriously,
aspects,
put him in the fucking car. Put them in the fucking car.
I can get a couple of guys that could really scream like a little bitch. I mean, okay, so we're gonna coming in.
but lost 2 eardrums.
I mean, it's true though.
That would be cool.
But we always as drivers, whether or not our skill level's there, I speak for myself, not you three, but as far as driving, it is
Everybody
essentially
just assumes I can drive. I don't
you
think
can
anybody's even
drive.
seen
You
me
definitely
drive.
can.
I don't know.
But
I followed Tony a few times.
what I'm saying is like you don't really understand how honestly fucking wild it is. And it comes the vodka? Okay. Give him some vodka, dude.
All right.
Need some high quality H2O.
But as far as like actually driving it is such a surreal experience
This 5
seeing
minutes
like
is brought to you by Dasani.
yeah, Dasani, what's up, bro? Sponsor us, let us know. We'll shout you out, I promise.
I gulp kind of loud. We'll move this back.
But like overall, like having people in the car, having people in the car and like seeing like how wild it is to truly be like the video that I always think of is the video with you and Forrest that are like literally Forrest is next to your door.
I thought he touched my door. I'm not
Yeah, and you're like
100%.
watching it, like, holy shit. But when you see those, out, and I totally understand why, but I'm just saying, overall, like, you see these cameras that are out, you're like, oh, those cars the proximity is very good. It's like, yo, he is fucking inches. Like,
You're
the
sitting inside
the GoPro doesn't do justice.
No,
like,
you
you
sit
look,
in
you're
the
like, oh,
car.
shit, I can literally grab his fucking door and open it for him.
You're
So it'd be cool to see like
You're
that.
sitting in the car and you can go out and give him a high five on his helmet. You're like,
Yeah,
"Fuck."
that's what I'm saying.
"Oh,
But like
shit."
you see that externally, and you're like, oh, that's whatever,
That's
whatever.
cool,
but it's like, yo, that shit is wild. Like if you're in the car, you'd be like, oh my goodness.
You look
I
down
just
and his
fucking hit him in
tires
the
rubbing
head.
your door.
I think that's the only
Exactly.
the only reason I'd ever want to drive a wrong side drive car
So you
is
high
so I
five
could
each
get
other?
right up next to somebody and reach out and go, "Poof, dumbass."
No, I want to reach out.
What up,
Pop
boy?
their kill switch.
Like
Later,
the
Rich.
motorcycles hitting the kill switch too.
Dude, you
Yeah,
see
dude.
all the videos of the motorcycle breaker, all the motorcycle people popping each other's brakes. and shit.
exactly. Yeah.
Reach over and pop their steering wheel off.
But genuinely, I think like overall, I think competition is good, and like a big shout out to Lone Star. What's his name? Aaron. I forget his last name. I'm
Losey?
friends with him on
Losey?
Facebook. I don't remember.
I think it's Aaron Losey.
I'm drawing a blank.
I don't know.
But like,
We are not politically correct here, FYI.
yeah, I mean it's
We
true.
ain't got a
Our
fucking
names
clue.
suck. Our
But
names
like,
suck.
but I have seen like it's
I
interesting.
mean, let's face it, we did start this off with trailer park talk, so
True. But like that's where we've had this conversation of like I've even seen him post. So he's like the grassroots king essentially. Like everyone knows who Lone Star is, and that's like grassroots as fuck. But even him, he's now debating like, well, should we more focus on on the competition side, or should we focus more on grassroots? And he gave a really good, interesting idea. I mean, I hope he's watching, but like that shit is like, that's what's kind of crazy. We're getting into this whole conversation of like, think of NASA, right? Is there a grassroots version of NASA?
No, that shit's all
Fuck
made in
no.
a Hollywood basement. Haven't you heard that song?
But I mean, in general, like that is an honest motorsport in our same industry, right? That isn't talking about grassroots or whatever. They're just doing whatever. But yet, drifting has this very unique situation where we talk about people who you can literally, again, I did buy an E36 for $1,000 and I was able to drift it with an open diff, which was a horrible decision, but I could. And then you have NASA where it's like, I have to have a spec cage. I have to have this helmet. I have to have these seats. I have to have these harnesses. I have to have everything FIA, SIA, whatever approved. And we're getting into a really weird situation overall with like drifting where we're having this conversation, but no other motorsport has ever even talked about it. Think about you guys started with bikes, right? You guys started with bikes on the fucking track, on the dirt track. But think about that. Like, you have drivers that you know, people who follow those drivers and that shout them out. They're at fucking big-ass stadiums and shit like that. How do we translate drifting to that, you know? So I think essentially, like, the grassroots, sports roots, or whatever you want to call that aspect is a weird conversation that not any other motorsports shit has.
We for sure need a local series, whether it's 5 events or something like that.
Right. Even like
on a Sunday.
3 or 4, dude, would be good.
Like a Sunday series.
Do odd number.
It would be sick. Like every 2 months have a race, or every other month or something like that.
Yeah, every other month would be
Shout out, let's get that shit going. That'd be fun. Just for the guys that aren't, that can't afford to do the pro-am shit and stuff like that. And you can just come out here and
I think
fuck
if
around.
you're gonna do that though, what I'd really like to see, and I think it would be a shit show, but it'd be fun, is to do a one competition for like our beginners and our maybe a style competition or something like that,
Meehan did that.
Well,
Meehan did that.
I don't know. I was standing on the back of a truck, lifting up the flag, pretending it was a skirt while everybody was going by. So
that was pretty fun.
But what do you think? And again, like, so for the people at the table, but for people watching, I want this podcast to be an open conversation. I don't want us to roast people. Anyone will know the people that are roasted, whatever. But I want us to have an honest, open conversation. Even if that says some shit that we don't really genuinely want to typically say, I want us to be able to be open about our conversation, right? So personally, I feel that, again, we're getting into some fucking great... This will be fucking recorded and clipped on YouTube, right? But what I'm saying is we have, like you said, a fantastic community, and we have a great opportunity to drift every month. Now, the next part on that is why are we not trying to improve what we're doing? I get we can always make excuses. We can always make excuses not to drive. We can always make excuses of this and that. But why are we not furthering...
I'm lazy.
Exactly. But why are we not furthering certain situations, right? So I think competition is healthy. I think the Track Society brought a real quality track and a real quality event to Arizona that Arizona didn't fucking know what was happening.
Arizona needed that shit.
Personally, I'm not trying to ride fucking, Track Society's whatever on that, right?
Dick.
Thank you. But what I am saying is they brought a lot of good drivers out of state that, and seeing him drive with Forrest was amazing. Like, you have someone that is FD quality drifting with someone who, essentially, I know that it wasn't ranked this way, but ABC C group. He was in C group. Right? Whether or not we talk about the politics on why he was C group, he was C group. And you have Forrest Wang, an FD driver, drifting with someone in fucking C group, the lowest group.
But that was also, I mean, let's face it. You look at somebody like Forrest, you look at any of those guys, and if they want to go out there and pump up the crowd, I mean, believe me, Forrest knows how to get the crowd going.
No, we know
and he's going to go out there and he's going to look for somebody that, and he's going to watch their lines, whether or not they're paying attention or not, and somebody that's smooth. Somebody that isn't spinning out all the time. I mean, let's face it. If he's going out to an event here in Phoenix and he's bringing a car he's planning on running the next week at FD or whatever,
with 1,000+ horse,
he's not going to go out there and go door to door with somebody that's going to spin out and
But
possibly screw
but
his
he
stuff.
did though. He did though, because he was not only running in C, but he was running A, B, and C.
Well, I mean,
And I agree with what you're saying. He definitely knew who he was running with, but he didn't say like, oh, because you're C group, go fuck off. Like, I'm an FD driver. He was there pushing that, and then we had like awards. You know, there's a kind of a competition aspect in there. Is a little
I
bit of
think
like
that-
grassroots and shit
But the
like
cool
that.
part was like you didn't really know there was like a competition. You know, it was like at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we're gonna hand out
Right.
awards. And you're like,
I'm so sad I
But-
missed that event.
I'm sad that you fucking were not driving,
bro,
but
that wall was so fun to ride out.
there's always
Shut
fucking this
up.
year.
I'd like to do this.
I have a car that runs.
What chassis would I drive if I didn't have an S chassis?
So basically, with
Well, I'm
this-
just saying. So just to finish up, Mike, before I forget. So
Yeah.
overall,
Wait,
I just think like we can bring excitement. Yes, like for everyone watching, and especially like just to remind everyone, you know, yes, there are a lot of active viewers now, but there will be. It's recorded. It will be on the internet. For everyone watching, there is a level you need to respect your local companies, whether or not you're happy with them. They're the reason why you have an event, period. So whether that's Go Fast, whether that's the Track Society, whether that's a tandem with NASA, Arizona, all of these companies bring that event and the track to you. So you should be, first off, grateful, in my opinion, especially in Arizona, but in other places. And you should also be respectful of, again, picking up your shit, treating it the way that you would hope that it can continue, right? And that kind of dulls into like the whole meet, you know, with our meet getting shut down consistently, not having respect, and again, not cleaning up your shit,
yeah,
right? And that goes all the way back to 4 years ago. So I just want to make that a precedent because my point is I'm super grateful for these companies and for these people that are putting the time and effort. You know, Chuck, we have Josh Ruiz, we have all these people that are, whether or not they're the same company, whether or not you believe in whatever they believe, they're all pushing, whether that's drifting or whatever, we're at least getting events. Because there could be a real situation where Wild Horse says, fuck your drifting, see you later. And that's a real situation.
It's always a possibility.
And that's something that PAVS, so Scottsdale Pavilions, is seeing as well. That car show has been in, I don't want
has
to
been going
over exaggerate it, but I believe from their website it's 50 years. But people are like, oh well, we can do we can do burnouts, we can do this and this because they've
we
been
can
a,
leave
like
it
get
a wall.
yeah, just because they're established doesn't mean that you running into a fucking palm tree will not change what's happening, okay? Because at the end of the day, that's on Res land, and Res might say, yo, you guys are way too much of a risk. Our insurance is going up because of you. I'm sorry, but we can't do this.
Yeah,
So
that's what-
I just
we
want to
lost
make
that.
a precedent. Like, that is a reality that people don't want to agree with, and people want to
Absolutely.
argue with.
And then you jump on the internet and you see a video of two Mustangs fucking up,
Ex-
and that's
a
now
great
everybody's
point.
like, oh, those car shows in Arizona,
He
those
hit
people
the
drive
fuck
like
out of that
fucking
Starbucks
morons.
ball. That's a Starbucks wall that's not connected to that property, and that was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, beyond what people have saw behind the scenes, those companies, there was a big situation with that.
There was a lawsuit
just to put that
involved.
out there. Like, that wasn't like it's funny. I'm not even disagreeing that that's funny, but at the same time, don't fucking do it, and just
you-
don't fucking do it.
If you want the spot to live, respect the
Exactly.
spot.
Etiquette.
But everyone's like, yo, well, I should be able to fucking do whatever, and then we can find another spot. I was like, listen.
Yeah, YOLO, man. I'll do a fucking burnout. I don't care.
Yeah, think about 1 million spots, one getting burned every day. There's only 365 days in the year, but eventually we're going to get to that point.
Yeah.
And those spots are not going to be spots that you want. So I guess, like, to bring it back to what I was saying is, like, we need to respect the companies and the tracks that we're given, and we need to understand that we're under limitations. Whether or not that's just main, yeah, everyone's like, oh, well, we've driven that for 10 years. I get that. But you don't have the opportunity anymore to drive west or skid. Whatever the politics might or might not be, that's just where it is, okay? Understand that, and then respect what you have now. Because if you don't respect what you have now, you're not going to have anything. And then to re-add to that, I think it's very honestly healthy to have other companies and other, whatever they might be, to come in and make that shaked up. So if maybe that certain company can't do something, another company might be able to come in and do other things. Right?
Yep.
And again, I'm not saying specific names for this exact reason. It's not about the companies, it's about the community. So whether or not we're losing or gaining or maybe even losing every company and then getting something better, it doesn't matter what the company is. It matters what the community has and what we can do in the future. So that's why sometimes I hear oh, this company sucks this company is better, this company is this. I'm like, well, at the end of the day, the more companies we have that are pushing for the success of the community will continue to help us as a whole community in general. And definitely, I think that too many people are convinced that this is the way that it is. So I've been, and I'll name drop on this one, I've been very happy to see Track Society come out of nowhere and run that event, because no one thought we could run that Bondurant event. No one thought that we could run that skid pad. And now we've been opened, our eyes have been opened, whether or not the cost, whether or not this, whether or not that, we know that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
So I think, like, again, respect what you have, but we should always be thankful to the companies or the people who are making something else happen, wherever that might be, whatever that might look like. That's what we need to realize, and don't shit on what you have, because it's not going to be there if you shit on what you have.
Exactly.
And we've seen it with DMI. We've seen it with
It took one
a
or two
ton of
people,
places.
one or two people to ruin.
That's
it.
what happened with Skid Pad and West, because there was a bunch of trash and shit, and people not respecting what it was.
That's more than one, but obviously, yeah.
There's a lot of factors, but that was one of the bigger ones. So I'm just saying, everyone watching, that's my point on this. But again, I do want us to be able to speak freely, whether or not, wherever the politics are,
Well,
just be honest.
I mean, it's a fairly well-known fact that we're usually at the track at the end of the night. It seems like the lights are out, we're rolling through, and
using our using headlights to find all the trash.
Jump out, pick up somebody's trash, and
Broken parts that they left.
Even the Track Society, that whole event, that was the community coming up.
But if you
and
saw
picking
that
up all that shit.
at the end of the night, we had people out there with trucks picking up.
That's what I'm saying. It's the community. It's not Track Society. It was the community picking that shit up.
But that's the stuff we need at every event, everything. Like, like pay back the community that's paying you.
Exactly.
For, not paying you, but giving you a spot.
Yeah, show the respect to the people who set it up, man.
Whoever that is.
Whoever it is.
Take the company name out of the equation. It doesn't matter. You need to respect it.
If it takes you 10 minutes to walk around, pick up some trash around your area, take that 10 minutes,
Well, we do it every time.
Yeah.
We have the booth set up. Any trash that's there, whether or not it's ours, we're going to pick it up and we're going to throw it away. Even if we have to take it back home and put it in the trash. That's whatever. Because that's what I would hope that someone do for us. And that's what we should do for our community overall.
Well, there's been some question that I've had lately about drivers and moving up and intermediate and things like that. The reason I bring this up is that's something else. If you've gotten your intermediate sticker from me, that's something I look at. I mean, how do you do on the track? But etiquette.
Track etiquette is the biggest thing.
Track etiquette, and
you can
do
make
what you're
it.
Supposed to be doing.
You can make it through a track.
But I've literally looked at people that have. You go by their pits, and it's like, what in the? How the fuck did anybody bring that much shit to spread everywhere? And it's blowing around, and it's trash. I ain't worried about it.
Well, I mean, that's track etiquette, but I mean, like, anyone can make it through a track, but it's like, what do you do when stuff happens,
And I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit tougher on some of the guys and whatnot, but
Old school.
Asshole, whatever.
Which way do you want to word it?
Yeah, but everybody that I have moved up, I've watched, and it isn't just your driving and that you can prove you can drive. I mean, unfortunately, I don't want to say it, but we could probably train a monkey to run Maine, to drive Maine, and if he did it enough times, he'd be good at it. But now switch it up, and what happens? Okay, so there's going to be situations where I have lost my train of thought. Again. But I think that it's part of it for everybody. You want to move up, you want to have these events, you want more drive time, you want this, you want that. It's like, let's do exactly what you're saying. Let's leave the place better than what we came in at. Pick up the stuff. We've gone underneath the grandstands and picked up trash barrels and brought them out, and just so we had one close to us.
Right.
It doesn't make a difference. It makes a difference in the way I perceive people. Nobody wants to come out and you're the asshole that has to go around and go, really, pick up your shit. It's the same thing on the track, you know. How pissed are you gonna be if somebody's throwing beer bottles or something out their car and they're drifting? You know,
Right.
it might happen, it might not, but it's the, you know, all of it. And as a driver out there, we've told everybody many times, you know, you're responsible for your passengers. They can't keep their hands in the car, you're out.
They jump in the car without a wristband on or shorts, dude. That's you.
These are all maybe things that a lot of us take for granted, but it is part of the etiquette. It is part of the moving on, to me.
Well, and I think too, as a driver, and it kind of sucks. I would say everyone should be accountable, but if you invite people that can't respect it as a spectator, that's also a big deal. And I think one big thing that we've been seeing as drivers, regardless of our skill level, is that a lot of spectators will then park their car and you know, behind these pits, you know, really clutter this. And I've had a lot of feedback on this, that's one of the issues we're seeing is where I don't mind spectators being in the pits, but being behind my car when it's time for me to go out and me having to search for the owner is a big deal. And I'm losing track time.
Yeah, it's that, or they're, you know, behind my truck and trailer where all my stuff is.
Right.
You should know, like, 100%, if there's a truck and trailer and there's another truck and trailer next to them, they're 99% of the time going to be parking behind that. Like, do not park behind someone's truck and trailer, because if I have to get my truck and trailer out to go get my car off the track, there's going to be a bad time.
Right. So, like, overall, if you're not driving, let's understand where the most, and especially, like, us in general at the table, we pretty much are pitting at the same time in the same area. If you're not a driver, let's park on the other side, or, like, let's just give everyone some room. I should be able to easily put in and out. Everyone should be easily
they have the
in and out with their
spectator
car.
parking that they're supposed to be parking in too. But
And I don't, and that's what I'm saying. So I don't mind that. I think personally it'd be cool to have the spectators park with the drivers, because I ended up turning into a driver because of that situation and being involved.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't mind you parking there, but I do mind when it's affecting other people, or at least me, of course.
or
you
like
know,
at least pull up and like ask or something, like, hey, is it cool if I park here? I might
right?
tell you,
Or
hey,
just
park 10 feet over
just
there.
park in the pits, but just not in the way. That's all it needs to be. So another thing to be conscious of, but I mean, that's a lot of different things that we just went on. But genuinely, what I'm saying is, I think that as far as the Arizona's scene is concerned, I think that we need to take what we have and respect it and respect the people. Like you guys were saying, you know, you guys have taken a very big step up. You're helping run these go fast, you know, events. Whether or not that's pay, it doesn't matter. That's just what's better for everyone.
It's just community.
But it's the same thing with the trash. Pick up your shit. Shouldn't even, like, come on, we're not your mom. We're not your dad. I hope I'm not your dad anyway, right? So pick up your
But
shit.
with Stacy, there is that possibility.
Stacy's a little different. But, like, pick up your shit, respect the track, and definitely be open and welcome to new things that are happening. Because I think competition in general and in life, a very big, outside of our community, business is always going to help be competitive and help drive the success or the fun factor, I guess, for drifting and stuff like that. So, I mean, overall, I think, again, just a very, like, general thing. Just respect what you have, look forward to what you could have, and then support the people that are making those advancements. Maybe that might not pan out in the long run. Maybe that person or the company can't sustain that, but at least support it and do everything you can to make sure that we're all successful. Because it's silly, but, like, at the end of the day, I mean, I can't even imagine how many people live in Arizona. Like, there's probably a ton. And think about the percentage of drifters, it's probably, like, less than 1%. Yeah. So, like, we're very, like you were saying, like, we're very privileged to have our own spot, to have a track in our backyard. Whether or not whatever company is doing it, again, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Because that's again, I always see these, you know, and again, for everyone on the chat, we're all just people, right? Like, we're not famous. Like, we're just, you know, fuck off. We're just, like, normal people, right? So we all see these Facebook conversations very heated and pointed at certain companies. At the end of the day, you should support the people who are supporting you. We're not able to be on the drift track because, like, we are on the drift track because of people and companies. We wouldn't be on the drift track because of companies and people that are currently in place. So yeah, it is super easy to shit on people. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, and you guys were saying, like, oh yeah, you know, it's easy to say, like, fuck this, fuck that. But then when you get down to it, you're like, oh shit, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. Realize that there are actual real people just like you on Facebook watching all this shit. And when you just bash this shit, it doesn't help. Like, if you want to bash it, actually, I'm okay with you bashing it if you want to bring something to the table.
It's easy to be negative.
But bring a solution.
Yeah,
you can bash it. Just bring something up to the table.
I mean, it's perfectly fine having a negative experience.
Yeah, or any criticism.
But, and being upset. But it's how you handle it. You could message somebody and say, hey, I noticed this issue with the event.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an idea, or maybe you guys come up with your own to fix this issue.
Right.
But you don't gotta go on Facebook and fucking throw a temper tantrum.
Exactly. Yeah, that has no point. You're just complaining.
That's the problem too. Is a lot of people bitch and complain, but yet they won't put their 2 cents in to see why. If they're complaining, they have a thing in the back of their head trying to figure out how they're going to fix it. So if you can bitch and complain, you have a reason. To try
at least it brings something to the table. If you're going to shit on everything, but just say something.
You got it. We have so much respect for the drivers once you get out there and go fast and all the guys that are helping out. They literally want the best time for the drivers. We don't go out there and just say, let's just go do our thing. We'll get this event over with and we'll go home. No, it's what can we do for the drivers? How can we give them more time? How can we make things go smoothly? How can we keep it fun for their families who come out to watch and ride in the car and this and that? It's all for them.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't take a dime from them paying. They tried to pay me to help out events. I do that shit for fun because I enjoy it. No, we go out there on our own dime to help and to make the events better. And some people might be upset with how things are going now, but just trust me, it's gonna get better. Things are gonna change. We're gonna add more stuff to it. They're not just sitting there with their hands in their pockets.
But I think too, though, again, separating it from the company specifically, I think that there always will be inefficiencies, right? There'll always be things that can be improved, but for the meantime, doesn't mean that you should shit on something that you have.
Yeah,
you should be thankful for what you have. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's seriously. So it's like, I get where some frustration is coming from. Like you're saying, there's a lot of improvements. Whether or not that's that specific company carrying the torch, we've seen it. I mean, you guys have been in the scene for way longer than I have. You've seen companies dissipate, appear out of nowhere, dissipate back and forth. I mean, there's been a lot of, and I personally can't name them, and I know who they are, but I don't know specific names. But I'm just saying, like, there will always be someone taking that. But you should always just respect what you have. Because doesn't matter the company, as long as someone's taking care of the community, that's what's coming first. Right? And again, goes...
I think what you're saying is you can't take any of this stuff for granted. It could...
Tomorrow.
Something could happen.
Yeah, PAVs. I mean, we've seen our meat get fucking burned, and people are like, oh, well, you've been doing it for 3 years. Well, guess what? We've actually had to change locations 5 times, I think, now.
Yeah.
And with written contracts that were ripped up in front of us. So that shit is never for certain. Even if it's in physical writing with your signature, with a notary, that shit can change. Yep. So, like, seriously, like, for everyone watching that, takes it for granted, there's, like Stacey was saying earlier, there's a lot of different things. Tony also hit on it a lot. There's a lot of different things going in the background. Yeah, you see the foreground, but you don't know what happens. What has to happen to make this happen. Yeah, it's easy to fucking bash on this and that and this and that, but you're not understanding what takes it all to get to that point, right? So, again, value what you have, respect who you have, definitely always provide, criticism. I'm not saying don't criticize
criticism is great.
But please, if you want to criticize it, bring some opinions. Hey, I don't like how this is done. What if we did it this way? Because even if we don't do it that way, or not me, but just in general, the community, if we don't do it that way, at least you went, oh, damn, I didn't think about it like that. Well, what if we took his idea and did this? Oh, shit, that's perfect. Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I think people have hit us up and Go Fast, even on their pages, have had people come up with other ideas. Oh, we should do it like this. Well, yeah. I think we had somebody say, let's run everything backwards, and that's where we run into the rumble strips.
Right.
And that'll probably happen. I mean, they're working on it, and then once those other rumble strips are in, there's tons of other layouts that we're gonna try.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff we can do.
But don't expect things to change, you give an idea and it's not going to change the next month.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of shit that has happened in the background for it to even happen at all.
No, and there's plenty of people who have come to us with ideas, and like someone brought up the fact of, hey, why don't you guys have like the advanced and intermediate guys go first, so the beginners can see the layout and stuff like that. And we've talked about it, and that's another, that's another idea brought to somebody who just stopped us in the pits and said, hey, here's an idea.
Right.
Oh, damn, that's a
it
pretty good idea, because not
nice
everybody
too.
can make the driver's meetings.
I do agree.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
And that would be definitely a good thing, because sometimes they don't know the Manji layout, or you see someone go for the Manji layout and it's really the main layout, and they're like,
Right.
We've had cars go backwards because they didn't know the layout, and it's like, you're screaming at the starter, stop sending cars, but
You already sent
that
two
car.
at
That
that
car
time.
made the mistake 8 turns down there, and we've already sent 3 cars behind you.
Exactly.
And that'd be so awful. Have a head on or something like
I
that.
didn't even want to think about that. Yeah. That'd be
And then especially if
seriously
someone
bad.
jumped in their car who didn't have a wristband, didn't sign the waiver, then that's it. That's a wrap. Say goodbye.
Yep.
It's done.
Yeah. Shut down.
That's comes to your on track etiquette. If someone's getting in your car, you're responsible for them.
Right.
That's another prime
That's in
example of
general
track
though
etiquette.
too. Minus the track. I mean, you're always responsible. You should be for your driver, or for your passenger. Excuse me. Any passengers.
And that'd be the
track
worst
etiquette.
thing, man. Someone getting hurt. That's like one of my biggest fears out there. Helping, dude. You just don't want someone to tear their shit up and get hurt.
Exactly. Well, as far as that goes, I mean, we're getting to the 3-hour mark somehow, which is actually pretty cool. But
already, damn.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it goes pretty
It's
quick
actually
sometimes.
6:30 right now. If you'd imagine that.
You bullshit too much.
Coming from the bullshitter himself.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, as far as the chat goes, if you guys have any questions or things that you've been asking or want to know about the Bad Apples crew in general, this would be your time to ask any questions that we can answer. But I think like this conversation so far, hopefully, is giving you some insight on who they are, who we are. But again,
hopefully some of the background to events, so you kind of know what goes on in the background.
And I think like more importantly, understanding who like the Bad Apple Motorsports is, because I think that our community as Arizona specific has benefited a significant ton from the Bad Apple or AKA BAM, right, as it's called. So
short termed.
But like, again, this is like going back.
I think we did that so Greg could spell it.
But like BAM way back in the day is like when my car had issues and it was a simple vacuum line, there was no one that I knew who to ask because I was so new to the scene. And then BAM came out and said, hey, I know someone who can probably help you.
I know a guy that knows a guy.
Right, exactly. But it ended up being BAM coming in through and coming in clutch to fix that. And ever since, like, I might have an issue with the truck or have an issue with my car, I'm able to take it to you guys, and it's like an honest, helpful situation. And even if that isn't the physical work, it's at least like, hey, based off what you're telling me, I think it's this. Maybe you should test this. Cool, test it, right? And like even just the most recent example was testing the head gasket, buying the kit, testing it out. Okay, it looks like it's good. We can still send it, but now we got to fix all these other little things.
Yeah.
So like that's a big deal, and I think like the community wouldn't be close to where it is today without you guys. And we've talked about the BAM, the Bad Apple Motorsports group, in the past podcast. I mean, this is only our 5th or 6th or something like that, but we've talked about you guys because you guys have been so forefront in the community. You're running the lines, you're running these events, whether or not, doesn't matter what the company is. You guys are always there, always helping people. And you guys even said today, you're helping people you don't even know. But that's what's been so cool to me. And I think that's what's really pushed, especially us as like a DMI group in general, like that kind of accentuated exactly what we should be doing, right? We should be doing the right thing. We should be helping drivers, and that's what it is.
Maybe I'm speaking for everybody. I don't know, but when we're at the track and there's somebody's whole night is ruined because of a $20 tie rod or whatever, if we've got parts laying around and it's gonna help somebody out here, I mean, take it.
Oh yeah, we've towed a car off and went straight to our trailer. Here's a tie rod, dude. Throw this thing on there and get back out there.
Yeah, we've done it a few times actually.
That's fucking cool though.
I mean, there's a stack of tie rods in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Using
I'm like,
all
hey,
times.
dude, my car's broken for us tonight, and you need a fuel pump. Yank mine out. Throw
Yeah.
it in, dude. Why are you loading your car in the trailer? You want to drive? You want to go home? Let's
That's
go.
fucking crazy though,
Let's
right?
get her fucking going.
Where else do you see that kind of shit though? Like never you see that shit. Seriously.
I don't know about that.
No, I will actually hedge my bet on that.
Nah.
You see NASCAR, they're looking at the other pit, crews, they go, fuck you, bro, that sucks. right? You look at like NASA, and not to shit on them, but just in general, it's more of like a competition versus like
We're
a
not
very
having-
community
we're-
thing.
Everybody's out there to have a good time. I mean, holy shit.
To be
You
honest,
know?
dude, I think that all that started for me was like watching Monster Jam, and you see a truck break, and there's like 8 teams with different shirts,
Mhm.
working on one truck to get it back out there, and I was like,
Yeah.
damn, dude, that's pretty cool. Like,
That's
I
super
wanna,
fucking
I
cool.
want to do that, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like where that comes from. It's like, if that guy's car's broke, he can't go out there and have fun. Like,
Yeah.
let's go help him get it going, dude.
That's what's been so cool, just seeing like you guys evolve as who you are. I mean, you guys have done leaps and strides to help other drivers, and I think like at the end of the day, all of the actions that BAM as a group decides is to help other people. It's never about the money. It's never about the time. It's about helping other people. Whatever that resource that might take, that's what it is. But you guys are the first in the forefront of that. Hey, you need a diff welded? Tony Hall, right? You guys are having an issue on the track. Those guys have a trailer, bunch of tools. You should probably hit them up. And I think that's what a lot of these sports, especially with motorsports, is missing. Like, you know, you have your own, because I feel like especially with like those groups, especially when you get to FD, you have your own team, you have your own crew, but they're all like, well, fuck that crew, fuck that guy. But essentially, you guys bring it all to a like a tie.
You're shaking the camera.
Oh, sorry. But you guys bring it to
Well,
it.
I'm afraid if we tie his hands together, he'll go mute.
Yeah, probably. But like you guys bring it to like a a nice community oriented situation, which drifting is essentially a very small niche of the international, let alone the U.S. population, right? So
Have we ever figured out? I mean, we had the guys with just an example
Uh-oh.
of shit that I myself have been at the track and been blown away. We had the guys with the AEs.
what?
The 80s, A86s.
Yeah.
Little Corolla.
Dude, that guy broke that axle, and it was like,
No, let's just be honest. They're straight axle cars for people that don't know.
yeah, there's a straight axle car. The wheel and everything breaks, falls off, and they're like, oh, just sit on the fender, take a little weight off of it. I got this, and drive their shit off the track. I'm like, I love you. You know? And then to end of the night, here he comes hauling ass up the drag strip. Like, dude, am I too late? It's like, man, you know, I got so much mad props for you doing that with your car. Yeah, go ahead and make a run. I was like, hey, I'm gonna send one more. Didn't see him. Oops. But
That shit's cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
That was
Stuff
badass. I mean, we could have easily had to do a bunch of shit, but those guys came out there, and there's tons of guys that come out, and they're having a blast, and they're being there. That's just a kick in the ass. You're like, fuck yeah. When I grow up, I want to be just like you. But these guys the Go Fast events, and most of our events around here are by having fun. Your car's broke, you ain't having fun. It sucks. We've all been there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously, if there's something we can do to help, hit us up. At the same time, though, when there's other people that are there and they're helping you, or you've asked for help, also be respectful. You borrow a tool, get it back. You borrow this, bring it back. In the same shape or better shape than you took it. I mean, we've had to borrow tools from other people because one of us forgets to throw shit in a trailer. Not that it's ever happened. It's usually because we're running late and
I was gonna
in a
say.
hurry.
Getting shit together at the last minute.
right.
Yeah. Again,
We gotta be there at 1 o'clock.
it's 10
It's
after.
4.
10 after. Oh shit! We gotta go.
But don't be afraid to give a guy a hand. I've learned shit from people that it was just like, oh, that's smart. It isn't that hard. It really isn't. It isn't that hard to be nice to people.
Right.
It is not that. I'd rather be nice to people than be an asshole. But Okay, rewind that.
Say that all the
No,
record.
it's easy. It really is. You park next to people that are pissing you off or whatever. Who cares? Yes, we
Go talk to
all
'em.
come up and yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Exactly.
Can you do me a
exactly.
favor? You know, we're kind of set up right here. Can you help us out?
Move over a couple feet or whatever it is you need.
Man,
Right.
It's all on how you ask. If you're a dick, they're probably gonna say no, but if you're respectful.
Well, and like, not to cut you off on that, but I think a big, proponent on DMI growing bigger is because of bad apples in general. And so we've been super grateful for you guys overall, and especially helping me personally, but overall as a brand, I guess, per se. But if any of you guys are new, or even if you're spectating and you're just not really like sure where the hell to go, and there's a bunch of, it's hard. I mean, it's hard for you guys because all three of you guys have been in the scene for a long time, but remembering how it was and even thinking about how it might be for a spectator, I think a lot of the time there's a lot of hesitation because you don't know anyone, and it's always kind of an awkward thing, like, oh, hey, my name's so and so, but like the DMI booth, so the DriverMod Industries like tent is there to help everyone. So if you don't know us, if you don't know us personally, like that's still your area to be able to hang out
Yeah,
with us.
don't be afraid. Come up, man. Introduce
Exactly.
yourself. We love meeting new people.
And,
Come around and shoot
and
the
bad
shit.
apples and DMI will always be parked together. Our tent will be there. Bad apples
you
will
piss
be,
me off.
unless I piss off Tony, probably possible. But overall, like we will be generally in the same situation. We'll all be in the same area. So if you guys are interested, if you have questions, if you want to know how, Stacy's car is built, Tony's car is built, Dustin's car is built, or if you just have some questions about a car that you just bought, whether that's a BMW piece of shit, or it's a 240 piece of shit, or it's a Miata piece of shit, whatever it might be.
Said they're all shit.
But whatever
We're all
it might
making
be.
very bad decisions.
Exactly.
Hell yeah! And if you
But
made
we're
some,
making them together.
and if you made
True.
some cool shit and want to come up and show us, fuck yeah,
Fuck
dude,
yeah,
come by.
fuck yes.
I'll take a
Please.
look.
But
Yeah,
like
I like
seriously,
cool shit.
and especially, I think the biggest thing is there's a lot of hesitation from newer people driving, and maybe something breaks or something like that. You don't really feel like you want to ask someone, and you just take it home. But like Tony and Stacy have both explained to you, I would say them, but I would also say we are all there to help you. Whether or not you have the tool, whether you not have the part, we'll figure it out, and if we can fix it, we're gonna fix it. Whether or not you're directly involved or whatever it might be, we don't even know you. We're probably gonna help. So just take it to the booth.
We've even had people hit us up on Facebook Messenger, things like that, on the Bad Apple page and whatnot. With questions. I'd be the first to admit I don't know everything, but if I can figure out a way to get you the answer,
Exactly.
help you source some parts you need or whatever. Hey, I'm more than glad to help out. Seems I can't remember a lot of shit, but somehow I remember. Oh yeah, man, that one guy was selling a setup like that, and
He'll remember stuff for sale.
there it is. Yeah, got that. Hit this guy up or hit that guy up. But it's everybody wants to see. Personally, I love it when there's a bunch of cars, a bunch of people out there just having a blast, and it's all in. It's all in your own power to go out there and have a good time, even when you're not having a good night, or or somebody's pissed you off. Oh, who cares? So and so pissed you off. Big deal. I'm here to have fun. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna send it and have a good night. So, I think we've all had those.
Let's get some questions going.
Yeah. If
Don't be
anyone
shy.
has questions, please
Well,
ask.
there's one right now I want to see.
Don't be
What's the
shy.
question?
Ask some questions.
Lucas, I can't tell.
If you didn't drive an S chassis, what
So Stacy, if you didn't drive an S chassis, what would you
School
drive?
bus.
No, so I've put a lot of thought into this.
This is what I've always wanted to ask.
Wait, is
What
it
would
with
you-
a stock engine then, or
No, you can do
just
whatever
a
you want.
chassis?
Just a-
Okay.
Just a chassis.
Okay.
You can
I
do
got an
whatever you
idea on a
want.
chassis and an engine.
Okay,
Is
so
it a
what you
Miata?
want.
There's a
Miata with
car that I really like and think would be pretty fun to build, and I'd like to do.
He's gonna talk about Corvette.
No, if I didn't have
Shit.
if I didn't have the 40, I would like to take an IS 300 and run a UZ in it. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That'd be cool.
I think I like the way they look. I think they look really fucking good.
They're fucking cool.
You
yeah.
got get a like nice lip kit on them. They look nice. So I'd like to have one of those, completely gut it, everything, get some weight out of that thing,
Well,
and put a V8 or UZ because they're easy to do.
There's plenty of them too, so it's kind of like you got parts
I'd like to
everywhere.
do that. What would you run if you didn't have a?
I'd probably do an E46.
Yeah.
Gay.
No,
Coming from the BMW guy over here.
I mean, 46 is, if you take out the engine, they're good. But
you think I'm gonna run a
I
BMW
know, of course
motor?
not.
You ask me
I'd
this
do
every
it-
single time.
If I had the
Austin.
choice, I'd definitely run an SC. I wanted to fucking.
Why do you
run
want
Yeah,
those
dude,
so
Maxes is pretty
hard,
fucking
bro.
dope.
dude, they're
Fuck.
dope.
I
But
think
they're
it's
so
gang banging.
Or I'd also fucking slide a president, bro.
Bro, okay, why are we going? No, that's a VIP. Day
My
in the
dick would
car.
be so big drifting that. Whether or not it's good drifting, I would be fucking sick.
You know what I say? Though? I'd be like,
a fucking president.
I just hit the president out there.
What about you, Dad?
Ooh.
But you didn't have the 14.
I'd drive a
69.
Mustang, 1969 Camaro, Chevy Camaro. Get a horsepowers in there.
Bald eagles are spinning.
Man, you guys are just brutal.
Oh, Dad, so come on.
Fuck.
What you
His
got?
brain
Okay,
is
I'm
like,
sorry. I
shit.
drive a
Do I do?
Corvette.
I think it'd be
69 Corvette.
no.
Be realistic now. Don't go Andy on us playing Forza and
Yeah,
come out with a
fucking
fucking
seriously.
limo or something.
Yeah, I'd drive the Lamborghini.
I
Fuck
think
it.
it'd be cool to do like a 67 Nova or something like that. Small body.
That'd be wild as fuck.
Or
A
Like,
lot
what
of
the
money in
hell?
suspension work.
Yeah,
but
but
make
I
it
would
work.
fuck it, dude.
if I could figure out a
A
way
hard body.
if I could figure out a way to do it and still make it, I would slide a 40 Merc or anything, dude.
What?
There was a old square bodied vehicle at Grid Life. I can't remember how Wise Fab on it. It was crazy.
No.
I'd love to. That'd be cool. I'd like to do an old car.
Pat says no to the president, but I disagree. Huh? Or Pat?
Come on, man. I don't think you could.
Yo, if I had a president sliding around, yo, fuck you, dog.
Dude, you're gonna gut a president out of man.
Yo, that should be wild.
No,
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 don't
no.
even gut it.
No,
Full
no.
interior,
No, no.
curtains, champagne bottles in the rear. You know I'm sliding.
How the fuck you can get that thing slowed down, dude? If you spin in front of you, it's game over.
Pull
You
the
can't
chute.
run-
Pull the
shit.
chute.
I'm going 20 miles an hour. Pull the chute.
No shit, dude. No shit.
I think it's a Nova. I think he's trying to say a Nova. Yeah, that's what it was then. It was a Nova at Grid Life.
What?
Yeah, Wise
Oh, it
Fab.
was. Wait, it really was a Nova.
I'll pull it
Oh,
up right
shit.
now, dude. I'll tell you.
Well, we can't really show everyone else.
I know.
But
We got no TV here.
yeah, I know.
No, I think it would. I don't know. I guess I'm more of an era of the square body car guys, you know, and it's like
Told you he's old school.
What about
Oh,
like
that's
a
old,
Toyota
too.
Cressida? That's a square body.
MX-83.
Sure.
okay. You see, you guys start going, ooh, E46, E36, ooh, an E35.
Oh, JDM, bro.
I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
American muscle is the only muscle I don't know. Yo, slide the dually. Fuck it.
Told you it came from a
I
fucking trailer
tried
park.
that and it didn't work.
Well, he doesn't have enough power to even break the tires loose.
Get that damn General Lee out there, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, we're reaching our time. We have probably about 8 minutes left or so. I mean, there's not really like
All
a
right,
time
then
limit.
real
but-
quick.
Uh-oh. Oh shit.
No, I want
to
to
drop the beat.
No, I just want to throw a couple thank yous out
Freestyle.
there. Big thank you to Chuck and Keith and the kids at Go
kids.
Fast, man. Yeah,
The boys.
Connor,
The
Andy,
kids.
The boys.
The boys.
The boys.
Tegan. Yeah, I mean, I'm really thankful for everything that they do. I really like having a place to go right here in our backyard, and man, it'd really suck if we lost it all. So, can't thank them enough. And they let me do that my gender reveal at the track. That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Uh,
That was cool.
So, I can't thank them enough. And everybody that puts in effort for these events, big thank you to them and Austin for the DMI and bringing new things to the table, a lot of stuff that we didn't think about, which is good.
Handling the politics. I hate politics.
I mean, I don't like it. I just have to handle it.
He just has to deal
Just for
with
the
it.
record.
And
I'd
thanks
definitely
for
rather not.
thanks for letting us do this. This is fun.
This fucking hella fun, dude.
Yeah.
We
This
all
is
got
cool
3
to have you
hours,
guys
dude.
on it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is our longest podcast to date. I mean, again,
3
I know we're
hours,
not.
dude, like,
It's
shit.
3 hours.
We bounced around quite a bit.
But it was cool. Like that's what kind of what I want having that conversation. And I think the biggest thing, again, as always, as I will continue to say until I believe until I die. Like Bad Apples, DMI, anyone that you want to name, even like fucking companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, will not be the companies or the people who they are today without the people who support them, right? So again, I want to reiterate, thank you for everyone that joins the podcast. Thank you for everyone that's commenting. You need to support the people that support you, because without that support, you wouldn't be where you are. So I just genuinely want to say that. I mean, thank you for coming. You guys have been amazing as always. A little off the wall, which is what we want here.
We knew that was going to happen.
You invited the halls.
I
invited the
fed you a
halls.
couple alcoholic shots to kind of get that going, but I appreciate you guys. You personally helped me.
We're still leaking from last night.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. But I appreciate you guys helping out. Me personally in the community. It's been amazing. So thank you for all you guys do. And I know moving forward, I think both of us combined, we're our powers combined, we're Captain Planet over here in the drift community, but in general too. I mean, I think we're getting to we're in a special spot where the spectators are becoming drivers becoming better, and going to Pro-Am, FD. We're seeing some real actual action versus 10 years ago where that wasn't a thing. So anything that we can help everyone else, that's what I'm down for. So
Hell yeah.
appreciate
if you
you
guys want
being
some Bad Apple stickers, just come on by.
Yeah, hit us up, hit them up,
Get
whatever
yourself-
you guys want. We'll make sure you're taken care
It's
of.
not a big deal. I'll keep handing those out while my dad just keeps buying them.
There was quite a few people actually asking about them too.
And that's one other thing too. If
I'm
you guys are
bad, I forget to throw them in the goddamn truck.
if you guys are looking to become, if drifting is interesting to you, if you guys have driven, if you guys want to be able to drive in a car, Bad Apples is going to be a fantastic, area to have that situation happen. Whether or not, it depends, of course, whose car's up, who's not. But if you guys are wanting to ride in a car that's fucking killing it, you have Stacy, you have Dustin, you have Andreas, you have a lot of good drivers out there. You have Tony himself.
Dylan.
So seriously,
Darren.
stop again. By the booth, you'll see the Bad Apples trailer. You'll see the decals on there. You'll see the DMI tent. We'll always pretty much be together until we die, unless Tony fucking kills me.
well, I'd be
Better
death to
than
you
that.
part. So.
Yeah,
Man, go get a spectator wristband. Don't be shy. Just come
Seriously.
on by and ask. We'll get you in the car for a couple laps.
Mhm.
There's plenty of people. So if you're coming to your first event, or if you've been going and you've just been watching and you've always wanted to ride in a car, see what it feels like. And we got
come
helmets.
by,
We usually got helmets. So make
Mhm.
sure you get a wristband. Come out. We'll get you in the car. Go for a couple
Exactly.
runs.
Yeah,
Probably
just
get you in
come
a
by.
couple of cars.
Come by and ask.
And if you
hang
need
out.
helmets, we can get you helmets. If you need just suggestions, we can at least tell you where to go. So just hit us up. We're all here to help. I think everyone here wants to help out the community. So other than that, I think we're outie.
Dunzo.
Anything else? Anything else? All right.
Mom, I love you.
We got to go.
Shout out
Bree
to Chris.
is hangry.
Oh shit! The studio is rocking. We gotta go.
Oh shit!
Thanks for everyone else joining us. We'll probably be here next Sunday. Oh yeah, next Sunday. So just for everyone watching, we will be having a fucking drunk ass podcast. So we're talking Everclear. We're talking whatever shots you want us to take, whenever you want us to take. It's gonna be disgusting, and I'm gonna love it. Just for the record. So thanks again for everyone watching. Thanks for everyone watching. Even though it's not live, appreciate you guys supporting us. And again, we want to be supporting you. So.
I would drop the mic, but I can't do it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Thank you.